this. Right. So anyway, good afternoon, guys. It's already 2:12, and we need to get started with our training. So welcome. My name again is Yani Dizon Fortes. I will be your facilitator for today's session. Before we get started, let's get to know each other. So why don't you, because we have new joiners for today's session, why don't you go ahead and start introducing yourself? Tell us about yourself. What is your current or previous work employment or work experience, rather, if there's any or if it's applicable? And also, why did you decide to join this training? So, who wants to start first? Anyone? Nobody? Steven, can you call somebody for me, please?
Maybe I can start it now.
Right,
Yeah.
perfect. Love it. All right, yes,
All right,
please.
sure. Okay, yeah, I'm Steven Osho, and you can call me Steven. Work experience, I've been in the call center industry for more than 4 years now. Um, I've handled technical account for a accounting software. That was my first account. Then second was a pure customer service account for a payment processor. And why did you join? I joined this training because I really wanted to know more about uh, being a virtual assistant. Yeah, that's all.
All right. Thank you, Steven, for sharing. Although I have already heard that from him last time. But thank you so much for volunteering as well. So call somebody else for me, please.
Yeah, we'll go with Irma.
Normaline. Okay.
Hi, my name is Normalin Almaden. I'm still a student. I'm currently taking BS Psychology, and the reason that I joined this to learn more skills
All right. That's
and
perfect.
gain new knowledge.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you so much. This course is actually not just for, of course, people who would like to look for another job opportunity, but this can be for anyone, like a student, business owner, if you want to jump from one career into another, or basically if you just wanted to learn new skills and knowledge, then this training is for you. Thank you so much, Nermaline. Do you have any nickname? Kasi medyo mahaba yung Nermaline for me.
Nips po.
Nips. All right. Thank you, Nips. Who's next? Who's next? Mag-turn off na lang muna tayo ng video today, but tomorrow I will using my laptop, so mag-on ako ng video ko. Char. Nips, call somebody else except for Donna,
Um,
because Donna won't be able to talk.
um, Carla Joy Bersamira.
Carla.
Hi, my name is Carla. I was in a call center for 3 years or more. I handled telecommunications account, then reservation services, flight, car rentals, and hotels. Then I joined in this course to learn more about being a VA. That's all.
All right. Thank you, Carla. Are you still currently employed in the BPO company?
No, I was resigned and my last day was last week.
Oh, I see. All right. By the way, how did you know about this training? Is it from Carlo?
Yeah, from my brother.
Oh, guys, by the way, Carla is a brother, is the sister of my previous trainee from Results before na naging friend ko. And you know what? Yung brother niya was a top notcher sa nursing board exam na na-release netong July. Amazing, di ba? Top 9. Oh,
Yeah.
bongga.
Thank you.
Proud sister for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, thank you so much, Carla.
Thank you.
So we will move on to Mark. Thank you so much, Mark. Char.
I'm at Leonard
Can
Galino.
you speak louder for us?
Yes, ma'am. I am Mark Leonard Galino, Matt for short. I work as a to-go checker for 5 years. But due to the pandemic, I lost my job. I do not have a call center experience, but I really want to become a virtual assistant.
I'm sorry
Yes,
to
ma'am.
hear about, what happened to you. But what are you currently doing now? Meron kang
Right now, ma'am.
pinagkakaabalahan, mga racket,
No, ma'am. I don't
part-time,
have.
business?
No, ma'am. I'm here at home.
Oh, okay. Well, that's okay. At least this is a good opportunity for you to learn new skills and malay mo makahanap ka ng home-based job dito by after joining this training. So thank you so much, Mark. Mark was
Thank
also
you, ma'am.
referred to me by my previous trainee, si Ivy. All right.
Yes, ma'am.
So si Donna won't be able to talk because she's using her phone and she's on her way home. So thank you guys for introducing yourselves for introducing yourselves rather. Allow me to introduce myself very quick lang. For those of you who do not know me yet, my name is Yani Dizon Fortes. I am a work from a mom. I worked for more than 3 years as a project manager, virtual assistant. I have already handled multiple clients, international. I started with a client from Bali, but her business rather is based in New Zealand, and then my second client was a US client, so I work for her part-time, and then my current employer is a digital marketer based in New Zealand as well. So I also work part-time as a social media manager. I have also handled multiple clients, both local and international. And during my spare time, of course, I am working as a trainer. I facilitate training classes for those who wanted to work from home as a virtual assistant and learn more about working from home as a VA. I've been doing this training since last year, actually, but this is the time wherein a lot of people were joining. It's because maybe they found out from other friends, and I was also referred to them by their family members. Kasi last year, medyo pa-isa-isa lang because I don't really market it on Facebook and I don't really have that time to do the training. So anyway, thank you so much for choosing to be a part of this training class or this training group. I know that there are a lot of courses out there being offered online, and there are actually free courses that you can find on YouTube as well as Google, but still you decided to be trained by me. So it's such an honor. Anyway, so this training will be all about how to become a virtual assistant. I will show you our agenda for today. But just to set your expectations lang, attending this training doesn't mean that after this training you will get to have your job. Of course not. So it's not gonna be me who will be providing you your clients, but it's gonna be you who will be working on finding your clients. But I will be assisting you, of course, on your journey to finding your very first client, at the same time creating your Upwork account, creating your other accounts on different platforms at the same time, reviewing your resume and portfolio, and assisting you with any inquiries that you may have so that you can get your first client. So let's get started. Allow me to share my screen to you all. Just bear with me. Hold on, guys. So let me know if you guys can see my screen. Let me know, ha, kasi I cannot hear you or see you because I don't have a video. Okay, perfect. So anyway, if I'm going too fast, please let me know. Or if you have any questions, feel free to utilize our chat box. Also, please feel free to ask questions that you may have. This is the perfect time for us to learn, share, and you can always ask questions without any judgment. There's no wrong question here. There's no wrong answer as well here. All right, are we good with that? Silence means yes. Nag-lunch na ba kayo?
Yes.
Okay. Alright. Baka mamaya natutulog na kayo dyan. So anyway, let's move on and let's get started with our course, Learn How to Become a Virtual Assistant. So to begin with, I always wanted to share this favorite quote of mine because I've been living to this quote up to this time. So sabi ni Madam Barbara Sher, lakihan ko muna ang aking screen mga ka-smarties. Oops, hold on. O, di ba? May interruption. Yan. So, sabi ni Madam Barbara Sher, you can learn new things at any time in your life if you're willing to be a beginner. If you actually learn to like being a beginner, the whole world opens up to you. So, this is something that I wanted to share with you guys because before, I was so scared of trying new things and going outside of my comfort zone. Let me give you an example na life-changing for me. So a few years back, I was working as a healthcare trainer in a BPO account and in a BPO industry, and I've been working there for about 8 years. I must say that I'm not really well compensated given the uh, roles and responsibilities that I perform. So ang maganda lang sa akin noon is yung position. Maganda lang yung position ko. But salary wise, I am not well compensated. I should say. And then, sabi ng husband ko, why don't you go ahead and resign and look for other opportunities kasi may experience ka and magaling ka naman. During that time, I don't even consider myself as magaling. And I was so complacent and comfortable with what I do kasi I feel like ito yung kaya kong gawin because I had a nursing background dahil nag-aral ako ng nursing and I was handling a medical account. So parang sabi ko, dito ako magaling. I'm so good at training people, processing claims, processing medical claims, talking to different providers, training different lines of business of the account. Parang sabi ko, hindi ko kayang mag-resign kasi saan ako pupunta after that? So, my turning point was when I got pregnant, I gave birth to my daughter, Kira, and I had nobody to take care of her kasi I wanted na ako talaga mismo yung mag-alaga sa kanya. So, our routine was in the morning, papasok ako, sa gabi, magpupuyat ako sa kakaalaga and vice versa. Ganun yung naging ano namin ng asawa ko, naging routine namin for up to 3 months. And we almost got sick. So we decided na okay, magre-resign na lang ako. But I told myself na kahit nasa bahay ako, I will be working because I wanted to earn money. Syempre sa hirap ng panahon ngayon, hindi tayo pwedeng umasa sa asawa lang natin or sa parents natin, di ba? So I decided to work from home even without me knowing kung anong pwede kong magiging trabaho. I didn't know about work from home yet. I didn't know about becoming a virtual assistant yet during that time. But I resigned. I took a rest for 1 week. And then that's the time that I utilized researching on the internet. And I spent time checking on different materials that I can see sa YouTube, sa Google, sa mga Facebook group about how to become a virtual assistant. So, within that week, niready ko yung mga requirements like internet, what else? I also even borrowed laptop from my brother kasi wala akong laptop during that time. So nakapag-work ako dahil yung kapatid ko, thankfully, pinahiram ako ng laptop. And then, nag-submit ako ng mga application sa ACADSOC, sa 51Talk. I was so frustrated and desperate during that time na sabi ko kahit ESL teacher papasukin ko, magka-work lang ako. But thankfully, an opportunity came when a friend of mine who used to be a trainer with my previous company, who happened to be a really good friend of mine, referred me to her client kasi during that time, she was already working from home as project manager virtual assistant. So her team was looking for a project manager VA during that time. And then thankfully, when I submitted my resume, final interview lang ako diretso, and then I got the job. And then I started working. And that's the start of my journey. So parang I told myself na when you go out of your comfort zone pala talaga and you you embrace the fact na you can learn something else, you can learn something new, and you can start a new beginning, you a lot of doors will open up. So I'm not sure if you guys have experienced this. For sure you did. Na parang natakot na rin kayong subukan yung mga bagay-bagay. Have you ever encountered this type of situation in your life? Anybody? Kahit mapa-love life man yan, mapa-relationship, mapa-business opportunity or job opportunity, did you ever encounter this? Na parang takot kayong sumubok?
Yes.
Oh, perfect. Thank you, Carla. What about you, Steven? Was there a point in your life na parang naging breaking, ano mo siya, naging breakthrough?
Oo naman. Especially kapag kaka-resign ko siya sa company, hanap ulit ng bago. Siyempre, always as a beginner.
Yeah. Okay, so anyway, we always have to take a leap of faith nga lang. And thank you guys for taking a leap of faith na I know yung goal nyo dito is to learn new skills at the same time find a work from home opportunity for you to also improve yourself and grow professionally. Okay, so anyway, ang dami kong kuda, di ba? Moving on to our objectives. We will be learning the different types of VA, the roles and responsibilities of a virtual assistant. What are the skills required? Where are we going to apply? What are the commonly used tools? And of course, we will be having system navigation and activities as we go along. How much does a VA earn? We will talk about that. And also on top of this, we will teach you how to create your resume. We will be talking about resume writing 101. And tomorrow, somebody will be joining us to discuss Upwork and how you can create your Upwork account. So, si Normaline na boot out sa call. Okay. So, let's get started. Before you can even actually work from home, you have to think about, guys, kung ano ba talaga yung niche na gusto nyong piliin. Kasi when you say working from home, there are a lot of job opportunities and there are a lot of areas that you can actually venture into. Like, pwede kang maging graphic artist, pwede kang maging video editor, pwede kang maging podcast editor, pwede kang maging content writer, social media manager, virtual assistant, pwede ka ring maging real estate agent. Opportunities in working from home are actually broad. You just have to make sure that you select a specific niche and you focus more on that. Like ako, there are a lot of opportunities but I decided na gusto ko maging general VA because most of the skills that are needed or are required for you to become a VA, meron ako. And this is what I love doing. So sabi ko, okay, ito yung magiging niche ko. So if you guys decide na gusto nyo maging virtual assistant, then this path is good for you and is perfect for beginners. But when you wanted to work from home as a VA, you have to make sure na meron kayong resume and portfolio. If you don't have your resume yet, I will help you how to create one because we will be talking about that as we go along in our training rather, as well as how you can create a portfolio. May mga trainees ako before, they don't know how to create a portfolio. And if you can see or if you're looking for job opportunities online sa different platforms, you would see na most of the clients are requiring for a portfolio. So at least you should know how to create one. And then you have to update your social media profiles. Kaya ako talaga, I don't want na yung mga trainees ko, yung mga FB profile nila are hidden. So, maybe because of privacy purposes, right, Steven? Yung mga profile pictures nila, hindi nila own picture, something like that. Kasi sometimes our clients are also doing background checks and checking on your profiles. Not just on Facebook, but you might have an Instagram, LinkedIn, or even your profiles in Upwork or onlinejobs.ph. Then you must have a PayPal account. This is very easy to create. And then, of course, you need to have a bank account or a GCash account kasi dito mo siya pwedeng i-transfer yung earnings mo when you already have a client. So, these are the most common requirements for you to start working from home. If you don't have this yet, I suggest that you invest It doesn't really have to be brand new, pwedeng second hand, pwedeng mag-borrow. Ako, when I started, I just borrowed a laptop from my brother. So, of course, required na meron tayong desktop, laptop. Most client would require you to have yung core niya dapat i3 to i7, tapos 3rd to 10th gen, and at least 4 GB RAM. Internet connection, ngayon, before, okay lang yung mga 5 Mbps, pero mga clients ngayon nagre-require na sila ng 20 Mbps. USB headset, but of course, this depends on the type of job that you will be performing. If you are a virtual assistant, hindi naman usually nagre-require na may headset ka unless you will be taking calls. And of course, you need to have a home office or station. You don't really have to have a home office. It can be anywhere in your house as long as it's a quiet corner where you can perform your tasks. Ako, when I started, kahit saan-saan lang ako nag-work. Mapakusina, mapasahig lang, mapakwarto, depende kung nasaan yung anak ko. There you go. Do you guys have any questions so far with the requirements? So, lahat naman kayo may internet na, no? Is that correct? Do I have people on the call? Do I still have you guys? Meron naman kayong internet for sure kasi naka-join kayo. What about mga laptop? Do you guys have that as well? Okay, perfect. So kung wala, gawa na lang natin ng paraan. Kasi syempre, di ba, how can you start working if wala kayong mga tools na to? Okay, so now let's move on to what is a virtual assistant. I wanted to know, guys, kung ano yung understanding you when you hear the word virtual assistant. So anybody from the group or from the class? Let's ask first si Mark. Kasi si Mark, siya yung walang BPO experience, but he's really eager to learn the skills of a VA. So Mark, can you hear us or can you hear me? So Mark, what is your understanding or what is your idea about a virtual assistant? Asan si Mark?
Hello, ma'am.
Yes. So, Mark, what is your idea about a virtual assistant?
Virtual assistant, ma'am. I think
Yes.
it's freelancing and ma'am. Yes, ma'am. That's all.
Oh, I'm sorry, what did you say?
That's a freelancing job, ma'am.
Yes, you are actually correct na it's a freelancing type of job kasi virtual assistants are considered independent contractors. Correct. What about the others? Ano yung idea nyo about a virtual assistant or what is a virtual assistant for you? Mark, call somebody else for me, please.
Carla Joy, ma'am.
Carla. Thank you, Mark.
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you.
Uh, Being a virtual assistant, you will have a clients. Then, magwo-work ka sa kanila remotely,
Right.
doing admin tasks, social media tasks, anything. So all around.
Correct. Yes. Very good. Thank you so much for sharing. Nips, what about you? What is your idea of a VA or a virtual assistant?
Um, the self the one that who assist when pag po merong mga kailangang gawin tulad or pag halimbawa po nag-i-schedule sa client mo po, nag-aayos ng schedule yung mga ganun.
All right. So, assisting or taking what you're trying to say is assisting or managing the schedule of your client. That's right. Thank you. Steven, do you want to provide any output or inputs rather?
Actually, nasabi na lahat. Well,
Okay.
coming from the word itself, virtual assistant. So when we say assistant, you will be assisting the client or the business itself in any activities or post like yun nga, mga scheduling or what. And then when we say virtual, which means that we remotely do it. So we don't need to be in the physical business itself. So we can do it through the internet or through your laptop. So something like that.
Right, perfect. So thank you so much, guys, for sharing your knowledge about your understanding on what a virtual assistant is. So I have mentioned earlier that a virtual assistant is considered as an independent contractor. It's because we basically do not have a boss. Our clients are not actually our boss, but we will be working with them to help them grow their business. So most of the tasks that we will be performing are administrative, but there are different tasks as well that you might be performing, like what Nibs mentioned earlier, pwedeng scheduling. You can also be making calls, travel appointments, managing the emails of your clients. You can also be somebody who can provide graphic design assistance, blog writing, social media management, and marketing services. So your task varies depending on the type of business or the niche of your client, but most of the time you will be performing administrative tasks, but not all the time. So we will be talking about as we go along the different roles and responsibilities of a virtual assistant. Okay. But these are the most common types of VA. We have lead generation VA. Have you guys heard of this already? Lead generation VA.
Not really, pero parang may idea ako.
Okay, so lead generation VA, these are actually the people or the virtual assistant who are doing online research and generating leads. Kasi this is more of a sales aspect of the business wherein maghahanap ka ng mga prospects. What they're doing is they're acquiring leads through LinkedIn. Pwede silang maghanap ng mga leads sa mga different platforms. Parang yung mga leads na nakuha nila, these will be contacted by their sales agent to market their products. So that's what a lead generation VA is. It can involve inbound and outbound calls. I do not have actually an experience with this one because, as I've mentioned earlier, I'm solely dedicated as a general VA. So this is my forte, a general VA. Next one would be we have real estate VA. Of course, by the word itself, real estate. Ito yung mga virtual assistant who provide services related to real estate business. Of course, also done remotely. So, yung mga services provided by real estate, ito sila yung mga finding property details, sila yung mga nagdi-data entry, cold calling as well. They also do that. Then we have Webmaster VA. Anybody of you here who has knowledge on WordPress website or knows how to design a website or nagka-experience mag-design ng website? Wala pa? Okay. So that's okay. Webmaster VA, this is one of the highest paid VAs on top of the real estate VA. Kasi yung real estate, di ba, on top of your monthly salary, you will be earning through commission. So every time na may nabebenta ka diyang mga properties, may it be a condo, house and lot, you will be gaining commission. Webmaster VA, these are the virtual assistants who are high skilled in terms of creating and developing websites and designing the website. So sila yung may knowledge with HTML, coding, JavaScript, and kung ano-ano pang mga related sa website. Kaya yung mga webmaster VA, ang alam ko, hindi sila bumababa ng $12 to $15 per hour. They can also be charging your clients per project. But yun yung pinakamababa nila, $12 per hour. Imagine that. Sarap, no? $12 per hour rate. Parang ang saya ng buhay mo pag ganun. Then we have social media VA. This is my part-time job. Social media VA, but the word itself, social media, this involves managing social media platforms of the clients as well as content creation. And you will also be performing other tasks related to social media marketing. What type of social media platforms do you guys know? Mark, ano yung mga social media platforms na alam mo? Andyan ka pa, Mark? Nako, si Mark nakuha na ng liwanag. Char. Mark, are you still there? Okay. Can you guys still hear me? Baka may...
Yes.
Okay. So, nasaan na si Mark? Thank you so much, Mark, for that wonderful answer. Nasaan na si Mark? Naririnig niya kaya ako? Mark, utilize the chat box if you're having system issues or oh yes, naririnig daw naman niya ako. Okay, so Mark, ano yung mga social media platforms na alam mo or ginagamit mo? You can use the chat box if you are having issues with your audio or if there's a delay. Facebook, sabi ni Mark. Yes, Facebook is one. Ano pa, Nips? Yung alam mo mga social media platforms. Instagram. So ano, nag-chat na lang tayo dito. Facebook, we have Instagram. What else, guys?
Twitter.
Twitter. Are you using Twitter, Steven?
Not actually. Facebook lang meron ako.
Okay. But you know what? There are clients who are actually using Twitter. Wow. Ang social na Twitter. There are clients who are using Twitter and I have a client who uses Twitter and I'm managing her Twitter account. But it's not for, kasi dito sa Philippines, most of the time yung Twitter ginagamit sa pagrarant, di ba? And pangbabash. So for them, Twitter is the one platform that they can utilize to market their business. Yes, we have Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. What else? Ano pang alam yung mga social media platforms? TikTok. For sure, may mga TikTok users tayo dito. We have TikTok. YouTube is an example of a social media platform. If you guys are using LinkedIn as well, that's also an example of a social media platform. So VAs. So anyway, if you decide to just concentrate or dedicate your time in learning social media skills and work as a social media VA, you may also do so kasi sa social media most of the time sila yung may mga opportunities to work part-time. Then a general VA, of course, this is what we will be talking about more because this is, as I mentioned earlier, this is a good start for beginners who wanted to grow professionally. And you will be learning a lot of tasks and roles because sabi nga kanina ni Carla, all around ka. So, meron akong trainee dati na sabi niya, para kang, pag virtual assistant ka pala, Yani, para kang katulong na all around. Tagalaba, taga-plancha, taga-luto, taga-linis ng bahay. Ganun daw yung general VA. And later on, you will find out why when we talk about the different roles and responsibilities performed by a general VA. What questions do you have so far? No questions? Alrighty. So moving on to what are the skills required for you to have or for you to become a VA. Nips, can you read this for me?
Skills required: good communication skills, excellent writing skills, social media management skills, email management skills, schedule and calendar management, solid organizational skills, graphic and web design skills, basic knowledge of WordPress, knowledge with word processing softwares.
Okay, thank you so much, Nis, for reading. So these are the most commonly required skills for you to have. I know that in terms of good communication skills, this is something that we already have. We just need to enhance excellent writing skills. If you know how to communicate well, then definitely you should be able to know how to write as well, because you will be managing emails of your clients. And also, you will be communicating with your client through email or through WhatsApp or through Facebook, and hindi pwedeng magtagalog unless your client is a Filipino, of course. So you need to have a good writing skills as well. Your spelling should be correct. Your sentences should be grammatically correct. Although clients naman are not really particular with grammar when you're communicating with them. But if you're communicating with their customers, you are expected that your subject verb agreement is correct. So email management, we will be talking about this later on as well. Ano yung mga tasks na gagawin mo in terms of email management? Schedule and calendar management, we will be having activities later on how you can plot and manage the schedule of your client and how you can convert time zones. Solid organizational skills, this is where the different tools later on, such as your Google Drive, will come in, because you need to be organized. You will be organizing the data and the files of your client. Graphic and web design skills, not really all the time that your client would require you to have a graphic and web design skills, but being creative is something that you can also learn. I myself, I'm not really creative, but when I started using this particular platform or particular application presented to me by the client, then that's where my creativity was polished or was improved. Have you guys heard of Canva?
Yep.
Okay. So si
Yes.
Canva lang din, doon lang din ako natutong maging creative kasi hindi talaga ako creative, guys. So until such time na natutunan ko mag-create ng mga marketing images using Canva, because yung Adobe, oh my God, sumasakit yung ulo ko sa paggamit ng Adobe Photoshop. Beginner lang yung skill ko when it comes to using Adobe, Adobe Photoshop. So knowledge with word processing softwares like Microsoft and Google Doc is actually required, and you need to know how to use these applications. Okay, so we'll move on to the general VA roles and responsibilities. First, of course, is administrative task. Anybody here who has an idea of what an admin task is? Sino sa inyo dito na nag-work sa BPO? So si Steven lang ang tsaka si ano, no? Si Carla. Well, si Donna, she also used to work in a BPO company. Ka-teammate ko siya before. But since wala siyang audio, hindi natin siya matatawag. So anybody of you here, any one of you, Carla and Steven, meron kayong na-perform na admin task sa work sa BPO company?
Ay, agent lang ako eh.
So basically more on calls and call
Yes,
documentation lang
yun lang.
kayo.
Oo.
Same with you ba yan,
Yes.
Carla? Okay.
Same.
All right, so that's okay. So since most of the tasks that you will be performing as a virtual assistant would involve administrative responsibility, so let's get to know what an admin skill or administrative responsibilities are. So these are the skills or qualities that will help you complete tasks related to managing a business. So guys, sa totoo lang, we have our clients. So yung mga employers natin online, we call them our clients. And their business will not run without a virtual assistant. So because most of the things needed to help run the business are purely administrative. Like for example, pag mag-organize sila ng files, that's already considered administrative. If they need to reach out and send an email to their client, that to their customers, that's already administrative. If they need to create graphics or flyers, that's already considered administrative. So not all these things, all of these things rather related to administrative responsibilities are something that they cannot perform. It's because it's taking their time. So parang pagod na sila sa kakaisip ng mga different marketing strategies and at the same time program na gagawin nila to grow their business. Sila pa yung gagawa ng mga admin tasks na to. That is the reason why they're hiring or outsourcing virtual assistant. So these are the most common skills or examples rather of administrative skills. We have answering phone calls. So before, possible pa tong answering phone calls. There are still companies who would require you to answer phone calls on their behalf. But most of the time, answering phone calls will now be changed into attending meetings on behalf of your client. Like for example, hindi siya available because there's a conflict of the schedule. Pwedeng ikaw yung ipadala niya para mag-attend ng online meeting via Skype, via Google Meet, via Zoom. Next would be sending email, organizing files, planning team meetings. Team meetings would be applicable especially if you guys are a big group or working in a big company. Like for with my first client, 10 kaming Filipino workers. 4 of us are project managers. And then we have one person dedicated for schedule and calendar. Meron din kaming isang person who is a graphic artist. We also have one person na Filipino din who was working as a social media manager. And we have one person who was working as a web designer. Tapos meron kaming video editor. So since we're like 12 in total sa client na yon, we are always having a team meeting organized by our business administrator. So, siya yung parang team lead ng company namin. So, we're always having team meetings every Monday to discuss, of course, yung mga wins and struggles ng team, to also track kung nasaan na tayo when it comes to mga tasks, and then we're also checking mga KPIs. When we say KPI, this involves yung key performance indicators nyo, yung mga metrics na dapat nyong i-meet. And then employee onboarding, of course, as the company grows, as the business of your client grows, you will also be growing professionally and there might be an opportunity for promotion. So, syempre, you will be needing more people for the team. So, kung ikaw yung tenure dyan, ikaw yung magiging in charge sa pag-onboard ng bagong employee. So ako, with my first client, I was doing HR and recruitment responsibilities kasi whenever we needed somebody, I'm the one who is posting the job opportunity to different platforms. Ako din yung nag-filter ng applicants. Ako din yung nag-i-initial interview. And then the final interview will be done by the client. Tapos, after the client has hired a person or a new employee, ako na yung mag-onboard. And then creating standard operating procedure. This is not really applicable to all clients kasi most of the time, yung mga clients, meron na silang existing SOPs or mga company guidelines. Any questions so far? No questions. So, I just wanted to know because we're talking about administrative tasks, before we go to learning about the different applications, I wanted to know how familiar are you guys with Google Suite application? Sino sa inyo yung familiar sa Google Suite? Nobody? Who among of you here guys are familiar or well knowledgeable in terms of using Google Docs, Google Sheets, Google Drive, Google Forms?
Familiar.
I'm sorry, who said that?
Carla.
Carla, did you say you're familiar?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, very good. Who
G
else?
Suites, naririnig ko na rin.
Okay. Yeah, so any application related to Google, naka-house yan sa tinatawag nating G Suite. So G Suite yung tawag sa kanya. Who else are familiar with using Google Docs, Google Sheets, Google Forms? Aside kay Carla. So gumagamit lang
Forms lang.
ano?
Google Forms.
Google Forms for NIPS. Steven, ikaw, are you using Google applications aside from Gmail?
Recently lang, I'm using Google Docs.
Okay. Well, if you don't know how to use this platform or applications yet, that's okay kasi you know what? Ngayon lang talaga naging common or naging sikat itong mga Google applications na to. Kasi during our time, Yahoo pa lang meron tayo. 'Di ba? When I started working from home, way back 2018, na culture shock din ako sa totoo lang sa paggamit nitong mga applications na to. Because I was so used to using Yahoo. Even up to now, nag-Yahoo pa rin ako. But the reason why clients are using Google G Suite rather, it's because mas maganda siyang gamitin sa Microsoft and later on you will find out why. So if you're not familiar, that's okay. It's now the time for us to familiarize ourselves with these different applications. So for in the case of Carla, if you already know this, that's good. This will serve as your refresher. So without further ado, I will show you what are the most common Google applications. If you guys can see my screen, if you log into Gmail, if you're log into Gmail sa desktop mo or sa laptop, you would see the 9 dots on the right corner of your page, upper right, that's beside your photo. So these are the different Google apps. We have your most common one, of course, is yung Gmail, which you guys are using. Google Meet, it looks like it works as Zoom kasi this is where you can do online conference or online meetings as well. And then we have Google Drive, Google Calendar, which we will be talking about later on pagdating natin sa topic ng schedule and calendar management. We have Google Docs, Google Sheets, and Google Slides. So, if you guys are using your phone, these applications you can access these applications and you have to download them separately. So, kailangan mo meron kang separate na download for G Drive, Gmail, and the rest of the applications. So, let's start with, I think si Donna, gumagamit to alam niyang gumamit nito kasi nagsuschool yung anak niya. So, nauso na tong mga Google applications during the start of the pandemic na pati yung mga teachers, alam na nila paano gamitin yung Google applications is because this is being utilized by homeschooling parents and teachers. Okay, so let's get started with Google Drive first. So ano ba yung purpose ng Google Drive? Any one of you here who has an idea or sino nang gumagamit sa inyo ng Google Drive? Let's ask
Me.
Carla.
Ginagamit ko siya to share documents to others. Like, isi-send mo sa kanila yung link. As well as yung mga documents like resume, ganun.
Right. So thank you. So Google Drive is something that is an online application where you can store, organize, upload, and share data, photos, and any other type of files. Pwedeng video, pwedeng audio, pwedeng photos, pwedeng mga documents. So if you can see, I have different folders here on my Google Drive. It's because nasanay ako na with my clients, you have to be organized. Of course, one of the requirements or one of the skills needed by clients or one of the skills na nare-require nila from a person to become a VA is you have to have a solid organizational skills. Kasi there are different data or different files that you might be required to compile. And whenever they ask this data or these documents from you, you should be able to provide it to them right away. Hindi pwede na tinanong ka, oh Yani, pwede pasend sa akin tong document natin for training. Tapos it took you already 2 days, hindi mo pa nasisend kasi hindi mo alam kung saan mo siya hahanapin. Right? So, it pays that you are organizing data according to, and you create folders. Hindi pwedeng halo-halo lang. Like katulad nito, halo-halo lang siya. So, pag marami kang nandito, you will really get to be lost kasi ang daming mga documents na kailangan mong tingnan. So, what I do is, I create folders. So, for example, I have a folder regarding the VA training session. I have a personal I have a folder for my personal stuff. I have a folder for my social media clients. I have a folder for Sun Life clients because there are some Sun Life managers who are getting me as their social media manager. I have a folder for my doTERRA business, and then I have a folder for my YouTube channel. So how can we create a folder? For those of you who do not know this yet, it's very simple. All you just have to do is to click on the blank space here, ganyan, and create new folder. And it's important that you label your folder appropriately. Syempre, para saan ba yung folder na yan? Para sa mga photos ba yan ni client? Or is it for the SOPs? So let's just say this is the folder where you should store, where you're going to store your standard operating procedures. So sabihin natin SOPs. Just have to write the title and then hit create. Then when you refresh your page, nandito na siya. So what I do is, kino-color coded ko sila para it's easier for me to look for the folders. Kasi kung pare-pare silang green, ay gray, parang for me lang ha, nahihirapan ako maghanap. So I would change the color by clicking on the folder and select change color, whatever color is available here, that's what you can use. So I'll just select brown as for example. So, ayan na siya. And then, when you open this folder, this is where you can upload your files. So, if you want to upload your files, you just have to do right-click and then click upload. You can upload here a video, an audio, a photo, or a document. So, if you can see, I only have 15 gigabyte kasi this is storage kasi this is a personal account. But if this is for work, your storage is actually higher. So, tingnan natin ha kung tama nga ako, kung higher nga. Let me just open my other account. Hold on, guys. So, it's not showing kung ilan yung storage ko dito. It's because this email is owned by my company. Pag personal folder, pag personal account, you will be able to see kung ilan na yung nagamit mo and how much more are left for your storage. Okay. So again, you can just download the files that you needed or pwede din kayo dito mag-create ng subfolder within this folder. So same process, mag-new folder ulit and then label it. For example, you have SOP for training. And I'll just create. Tapos if you need another SOP folder, you just have to do the same process. So SOP for social media, for example. Kasi some clients would have this type of task na gusto nila meron kayong organized folders sa mga different SOPs. Yeah. All right. So, and then let's say you wanted to also create a folder for photos na related sa SOPs, you can create one. And then if you wanted to upload a photo out within this subfolder, you may do so by clicking on upload files. And let's just use this one for example. And then you just have to wait until it's uploaded. So very easy lang siya to use. And then na-mention kanina, ayan na siya. So na-mention kanina ni Carla na this is that Google Drive is used to share data. So for example, sabi ni client sa'yo, Yani or Steven, can you please share or can you please send me the photo for our training SOP? So, syempre, hindi mo na ito kailangang i-download. You can basically send this data online by sharing this document to your client. This is the good thing about Google, and this is the reason why our clients are using Google application, it's because they have the ability to share it online without you having to download and upload the document. So how do we share this document? All you just have to do is so this is the data. So if you wanted to share this, there's a drop down right here, and there's a person with a plus icon that says share. You click on this, and you just have to type the email of your client or whoever is the person that you wanted to share this document to. Let's say this is the email address of the person, and I will just make that person as a viewer. Kasi I don't want her to make any changes with this particular data, especially kung document to. So I wanted her to be a viewer only. And then I'll hit send. Okay. So when that person opens up her email, this one, you would see na your VA or somebody else has shared a folder to you. So when you open this folder, you will be directed to this page. So ganun lang siya. This is the reason why Google application yung ginagamit ng mga clients kasi it's so easy for them to share data as long as meron kang Wi-Fi or internet connection. What questions do you have so far? Are you guys able to follow, Mark? Okay, yes for Donna. What about you, Mark? Are we able to follow? Nasusundan natin? Yes po. Okay. Yes po, sabi niya. Do you have any problems with your audio, Mark? Or may audio ka naman? Guys, if you don't have any issues with your audio, please speak up. But if you don't really have a microphone or whatsoever, then you can utilize the chat box. All right. So anyway, another way of sending or sharing this document is by sending it via email and attaching the link. So you double click this document or this photo, and then you would see here na meron siyang URL. All you just have to do is paste that. Tapos pag sinabi ni client na, "Uy, Mark, can you share the link to the link of the document in my email?" So you copy it and then you share it to your client. So this is how you basically would do that. So let's say ito yung client mo. This is the email address of your client. And the document that you wanted to share is, let's say, requirements or SOP. So let's say yung client natin ay si Steven. So I would just basically say, here is the link to the SOP. So clients sometimes, they don't want you to paste the URL on the email, but what they wanted you to do is to attach them. So what I do is I will highlight the entire sentence, or this one only. I will highlight this, and then this one that says insert link icon, I will click on this. Tapos ipipaste ko yung link and naka-attach na siya. Here is the link to the SOP, and then I will finish my sentence or my email. Let me know if you need anything else. So whenever we communicate with our client, hindi na necessarily na dapat magaling ka mag-English like you're using mga deep words or highfalutin words, not necessarily. As long as it's simple, basic, and something that they can understand. Brief and concise, that's what they actually need. So let me know if you need anything. And then you do your closing. So I would always use warm regards kasi 3 of my clients really wanted me to use this. Yan. Warm regards, Yani. Then I would send it to this person. And once that person receives the email, this is how it would look like. Let me just refresh. Yan. So, eto na siya. So, if you can see, na-attach na yung document na gusto kong i-share sa kanya without me really having to attach it, but I just pasted or I just put the link. So, whenever your client would click on this document that you attach, she will be directed to the folder with this SOP requirement. Are you guys following?
Yes.
Any questions so far?
None.
Okay. What about the others? Nips, Steven, do you guys
None.
have any questions? Okay.
Yeah.
Kasi ginagamit nyo na tong Google Drive. What about Google Docs? Are we good with Google Drive, Mark? Let me know if
Yes,
it's
ma'am.
a yes. Okay. All right. So if you don't have any questions with Google Drive, I will move on to Google Docs. So let me just use this folder that we created for SOPs, and let me delete this first. Oh, by the way, guys, I'll show you another technique before I forget. So there are some instances wherein the person that you have shared the document to is no longer connected to your company. So it's very important that you unshare the data because for privacy purposes. Let's say for example, si Nips, hindi na natin siya ka-teammate, lumipat na siya sa ibang companies. But we were able to share a particular document na dapat within the organization lang ang nakakaalam. So, before ma-terminate yung email address ni Nips, we have to remove her access. So, how do we do that? So, dito, makikita nyo on the person icon, shared. Tapos, halimbawa, ito yung email address ni Nips. What we can do is, we can click on the drop down and hit remove. So, once we remove this, we just click on save. And that will allow you to remove the person from accessing this folder. Otherwise, pag hindi nyo na-remove, si Nips, makikita niya pa rin tong document na to. Do you guys follow?
Yes.
All right. And also, when it comes to sharing the document, this is where you would be very careful. Kasi minsan, shinare mo na yung document, pero nanghihingi pa rin ng access sa iyo yung tao. It's because you forgot to change the settings. Like for example, this one. It says, restricted, only people added can open with this link. For example, ang inad ko lang dito ay si Nips. So, si Nips lang yung makaka-receive. But, sinend ko din yung link kay Donna, kay Mark, kay Steven, kay Carla. Hindi nila na-open. It's because si Nips lang yung inad ko dito and naka-restrict lang siya sa only people added can open with this link. So, if you wanted na lahat makakita ng document na to, you can change this setting. You can change this to anyone with a link or restricted. Kung for privacy protection purposes, dapat naka-restricted talaga yan. But pag hindi naman masyadong importante and you wanted to share this to anybody, you can go with anyone with the link. And then you copy the link, and this is the link that you will be sending to the different people who needs to access this document. Are we guys good?
Yes.
Yes.
All good.
Okay. Kasi guys, this is very important kasi minsan, like ako, nung bago pa lang ako, sabi ng client ko, Yani, can you please send me yung the link? So ako, sinend ko lang siya, ganyan. Kinapi ko lang yung link, and then I send it to my client. Tapos naka-receive ako ng email na, for example, Mark is requesting for access. It's because hindi ko siya inad dito na dapat. Hindi ko siya inad dito. I did not add her name or email address here before I send the link to the person. So, para walang conflict, kasi may mga client na naiirita, buti yung mga client ko dati, patient naman sila sa akin. Kasi hindi ko na-share ng tama before. Okay. So if we guys don't have any questions, we will move on to Google Docs. So sino sa inyo ngay gumamit na ng Google Docs? Si Carla, for sure si Donna. Nips, nakagamit ka na ng Google Docs?
Opo, minsan po sa school.
Yeah, sa school. Mga college talaga ginagamit na tong Google Apps. Ikaw, Steven, I forgot if you have already used this.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, you did. Or you have. All right. So anyway, if you guys have used this already, pasadahan lang natin ng konti. Your Google document would actually look like your Microsoft Office, Microsoft Office Word. So your Google Docs is utilized to import, create, and edit or update documents. So this is where our clients are writing their content. This is also where clients are writing mga SOPs and kung ano-ano pang mga policies and procedures related sa company or business nila. So how can you access Google Docs? You can basically use the plus sign right here and select Google Docs, or you can just click on the blank space and then select Google Docs. It's very important that when you're creating a document, you have to put a name or the title of that document. Okay. So I will give access to Nips first. Nips, what I want you to do is, hold on, where is, wait lang Nips I've closed the folder. Okay, so what I want you to do, Nips, is to copy paste this document. This one. I want you to paste this on this document right here. And I want you to share that document as well to your client. So I will give you access to my computer. Nips, Nips, Nips. Let me know if you can access my screen. Okay, perfect. So, transfer the information. Sabi ng client mo, Nips, please create a document on what is a virtual assistant. So, meron dyan sa last tab ko, information sa Google that you can find about what a virtual assistant is. You copy that and put that on a Google Docs. Click on no, I don't need more insight on what my team is doing. Okay. So make sure that you arrange the document as well. Make sure na naka-center yung what is a virtual assistant, and then the font size, please adjust them. Because whenever your client would ask you to create a document, hindi pwedeng copy-paste ka lang dyan, especially if your client wanted you to transfer that document from Microsoft Word into a Google Docs. Stop right there first. So dito pala guys, whenever you send a document, before you send this document to that person, make sure that that person is listed whether he's a viewer only or the person is just an editor. Kasi there are instances na pag editor, minsan na-change nila yung document. So, pag si client mo yung sinisendan mo, syempre, editor. Pero pag mga ka-teammate mo lang na kailangan lang nilang ma-view yung document, make sure na viewer lang. Otherwise, pwede nilang mapalitan yung laman or content ng document mo. Are you guys following?
Yep.
Okay. So, please make that first email, Dayani at Team Shabilus, make that as a viewer only. Okay. Hit send. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you, Nips. Now, what I want you to do, Mark, I will give you access. Tanggalin ko muna kay Nips. It's your turn, Mark. What I want you to do is to compose an email. And I want you to send this document, the link to this document in the email. So Mark, let me know if you can access my screen. Okay, you can. So paano natin yan isi-send sa email kay client? Where do we go? Wait lang, wait lang. So my
wait,
email is,
Ah,
can you close the YouTube tab sa upper left portion? Sa mga tabs ko sa taas, can you please close it? Close the YouTube, the unboxing na yan sa gilid. Close the tab na may YouTube icon. Close it for me, please.
yes, ma'am.
Yep. Yes. Patanggal yan. Click the X1. Sige, Mark, tanggalin mo yan. I-exit mo. Click mo yung X.
Yes, ma'am. Wait.
Nagahang.
Ayaw eh.
Okay, so anyway, hayaan mo na lang. So you go to my email. Yan siya. Yes, open that one. Ayaw pa rin?
Ayaw, ma'am.
Okay, hold on. Tanggalan kita ng access and then I will put it back to you. Hold on. Okay, can you try again?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So I want you to send the link of that document in an email. So where do you go to get the link ng document na yan? Or you tell me first, saan mo kukunin yung link ng document na kinreate ni Nips?
Sa Google Drive, ma'am.
Okay, so nandito na tayo sa Google Drive, nag-create siya ng Google Doc. Saan tayo pupunta for us to get the link? So, meron tayo dyang URL sa taas. Makikita mo yung mahabang link sa taas. Yan, yung Google Docs. Yep, you copy that, copy paste, i-double click mo yan.
Ma'am, ayaw po maano eh.
Ayan, tapos copy. Pwede ka mag-Control C sa computer mo. Okay, if you are done clicking the Control C, you go to my email. Yung first one. Ayaw maklik.
Ayaw, ma'am eh.
What kaya? Okay, wait lang. Sige, go. Can you compose an email as well? Can you enlarge or maximize the screen, my screen, yung sa email? I-maximize mo yan. Yan, very good. And then on the recipient tab, type Yani. Okay, select the first one. And then on the subject, put link to the SOP. Okay, that's great. Very good, guys. Now you're making sure na tama yung spelling nyo and yung mga capitalization nyo. It's very important. Okay, kaya mo yan, Mark. When you compose your email, sa body of your email, put, okay, sige. Halimbawa si Yani yung client natin. And then you put the link. So you can put there na, hi Yani, here is the link, or sending you the link. Okay. So put the link below your sentence. Here is the link. You put that below. Mag-space ka dyan or mag-enter. Hit enter. Isa pa. Isa pa. Okay. Can you also highlight the link? Highlight mo siya. Double click mo lang yung ano na yan. Yan. Tapos, you-click mo yung insert link icon sa baba. Below the smiley emoji. Beside rather. Ayan. Insert link. Sige. Ayan. Very good. So, pwedeng ganyan yung ginawa mo, Mark, na nilagay mo yung link sa baba. Pero most of the time, gusto ng mga clients na i-attach mo siya sa Word mismo. So, pwede mong i-highlight yung buong phrase na here is the link. Tapos doon mo siya i-paste. So, i-highlight mo yung word na yan or yung sentence na yan. Or pwedeng yung link lang ng word, it depends on you. Okay? And then put the link. You click on the insert link icon again. Tapos i-paste mo dyan. Yan, very good. And then, pwede mo na yung i-remove yung link na nilagay mo sa baba. Oopsie. You close that first. Ayan. So, make sure, close mo yan, Mark. Tapos, i-make sure natin na yung link natin is tama. Kasi sometimes, clients are not really very patient with us. So, go back to my email. Ayaw na mapindot. Let me help you first. Hold on. So, make sure that the link here is correct. Hold on lang ha, I'm just checking. So, that means yung link mo ay mali. Yan siya. So, you copy-paste the link correctly. You paste it there. I-paste mo lang yung link na meron ka kanina. You can do Control V. Ayan. And then hit OK. Okay, very good. Also remove the link sa baba. Yung mahabang link na yan. Remove mo yan. So, meron na diyang nakalagay remove. Yan. Tapos, i-delete mo yan siya. Okay, and then continue with your sentence. Finish your email for me, please. O, since na-attach mo na yung link mo, Mark, ano yung sasabihin mo pa dyan sa email mo? So, may iba ka pang sasabihin dyan, Mark, or wala? Okay. Then, period. Put a period first at the end of your sentence. So, dapat meron din tayong mga punctuations are correct. Also, a tip, guys, whenever you send an email to your client, let's say may pinapasend sa'yo si client. So, syempre, pag sinabi ni Mark na here is the link for the SOP, tapos na kaagad yung gawain niya kasi yun lang talaga yung hiningi. But of course, we always have to go above and beyond. So what we can do is we can write there, let me know if you need anything else or if you need further assistance or if you have any questions. Mga ganun. So pwede din ganyan, thank you. Period rin dyan, Mark, sa thank you. And then, put your name below. Finish your sentence na, Mark. Write thank you, period, and then just put your name. Lagay mo ng ano mo na, period or comma. Comma na lang. If you wanted to use thank you as your closing, then you have to put a comma after. Alright? And then, put a comma. Comma muna dun sa thank you. Or period pala, sorry. Put a period sa word na thank you. Oh, wait lang. Saan na pupunta yung mouse mo? Lagyan mo ng period yung word na thank you mo, Mark. Nagahang ba sa iyo? Nagahang ba ako sa inyo, guys?
Di naman.
Di naman. Okay. Mark, okay ba? Wait lang, Mark. Lagyan mo muna ng period yung thank you. Maririnig ba ako ni Mark? Mark, your sentence thank you is missing a period. Sinend nyo na. Okay. Alright. Thank you, Mark. So, guys, wait lang ha. Mark, naririnig mo ba ako? Wait. Mark, can you hear me? So guys, here is the thing. This applies to everybody. So whenever you whenever you compose an email to your client, make sure that you follow the proper punctuation. Ibig sabihin, yung sentence mo ba dapat may period or tuldok sa dulo? Meron ka ba dapat gagamitin na comma or meron ba dapat exclamation point? Okay? Kasi 'di ba, whenever we write an email, this is a professional email, so make sure that we are using the correct punctuations. Okay. Yes, ma'am, nawawala po. But hindi ako nawawala sa inyo, guys, 'di ba? Sa the rest of the participants, okay naman yung connection ko with you?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. So sa sa connection lang siguro ni Mark. All right. Well, anyway, thank you so much, Mark. Do you guys have any questions with what we did earlier?
Nope. All
No
good.
questions.
Yeah.
Okay. So, if you don't have any questions, we will move on to how to create a Google form. Anybody here who has created a Google form for survey purposes?
Yes po.
Si Carla, sino pa? Only Carla?
Ako
Okay.
din po.
Si
Si Nips?
Opo.
Okay. So I will teach you for the rest of the group. I will teach you how to create a Google form. And then later on, kayo yung gagawa and we will take a break. So Google form is actually utilized by our clients to create surveys. So syempre, yung mga surveys are very important for them to market their products and services or to help them grow their business. So how can we create a Google form is basically the same thing as how we can access your Google documents. So here on the on the left side, you can click on plus sign and then hit Google Forms, or you can basically click on any blank space here and select Google Forms. So it's very important that you put a title to your form. So let's just say that this is a training form survey. And whenever you create a survey, make sure that this is in accordance to the branding of your client. So syempre ang color dapat kapares ng branding ni client mo. So if you wanted to change the color right here, you have to go to this customize theme with the paint icon and select the colors according to your client's brand. So pwede kayong maghanap dito. But if you don't know where to, pag hindi mo siya nakita, what you do is you can Google because each color is represented by a hex code. So let's say gusto ko hex code for nude. So this is it. I want to use this one. And then I'll go back. Tapos itatype ko siya dito. Yan siya. So let's say this, ito yung branding ni client. So I would use this. Yan siya, napalitan na. And yung background color, ito lang talaga yung mga available. And then the font style, you can select if you want. Pag gusto mong ganito, like more unprofessional look, this is what you will utilize. So if you want as well to use a header, because some clients would want to use a header image, you may also do so by uploading a new photo or by utilizing the photos that you have right here. So let me just use one photo. Hold on, guys. There are times please be reminded that there are times that your client would ask you to create a header image. There are also times that they will be providing you already a photo. So in my case, most of the time my clients are asking me to create a header image, and I'm actually utilizing my Canva to use an image. So let's just use this one that I created as an example. And then since I already have the image, I will just upload it.
Miss Yani, may problem ata sa audio ni Mark.
Pero okay na yata. Can you,
Nag-chat po.
Sino? Si Ay, wait lang. Wait lang guys, hindi ko nakita. So Mark, we cannot hear you yet. Okay. So anyway, okay lang yan, Mark. You can utilize the chat box kahit wala kang audio. You can fix it later. So let's say ito yung header portion. With the description, most of the clients will provide you the description. Some clients would also prefer na yung description will be blank. Some also would ask you to create a description for them. So if you're being asked by your client to create the description, you can do so. And pwede nyo naman ipinapacheck nyo pa naman yan sa kanya. Tapos i-approve niya or i-edit kung may mga revision. So for the meantime, we will leave it as blank. And then if you do want to, basically sa training survey or sa survey rather, using the Google form, mga questionnaires lang yung nandito. Let me just change nga the font. I don't like this one. So dito on the questions, the purpose of this is to, of course, gain data from your existing customers as well as prospective customers. So asking people to do or answer the survey is one way of also marketing their products and services. And at the same time, this is also one way of them to be able to increase their followers or to increase their list ng prospects. Kasi for example, pag pina-answeran ko to sa mga tao, once they see the link to my survey, anybody can answer. And then I can get their email address and their contact information. So, most likely, ang inaas nating mga information from whoever will be answering the survey would be the name. So, syempre dito, you will put the name. And then, it should be short answer only. Hindi pwedeng multiple choice kasi alang namang option 1, yung name mo si Carla. Option 2, yung name mo si Steven, for example. Right? Nag-rejoin or Ivy is joining on behalf of Mark kasi inaayos nila yung connection nila. Ivy, can you talk?
Yes, boss.
Okay. So, mag-leave na lang si Mark. Tapos yung connection mo na lang yung gamitin.
Abo, eto na boss, meron na po.
Alright, thank you.
Thank you, boss.
The short answer and then make this field as required. Yan. Okay. Also, if you want to add more questions, you can make this as a long list. So it depends on the client. You can go on and on and on. And all you just have to do is to duplicate the page. So let's say you wanted also to ask the age of the person as an example. Pwede kayong mag-short answer or you can provide multiple choice. Para you will get the bracket. For example, this is for 25 to 30 years old. And then 31 to 40 years old. 20 below. Oops. Same process, make this as a required field, and then I'll duplicate the page because I want to gather more data, and I would just say, are you working from home? And then dito, I would just select checkbox, for example. And they will just tick the box if it's a yes, and they tick the box if it's a no. What is your internet provider? So on the internet provider, I want them to answer it. Yan. So I'll put a short answer. And then let's just say, these are just example, of course, guys. I'm just putting random questions. How much is your expected salary? So, pwede tayo ditong mag-drop down. Option 1 would be 20,000 pesos, 25 to 30,000. And then 50,000 and above. Okay. So let's just say I'm done with all the questions that I needed. All I need to do is to make sure that on the settings, I would check on collect emails. It's because we wanted to get their emails, leave everything as it is, no need to make any other changes, and then hit save. Tapos, on the three dots right here, you click on get pre-filled link. Scroll all the way to the bottom to get the link and copy it. So the link that you have copied will be the link that your client will be embedding on her website, on her Instagram page, YouTube channel, Facebook pages, or even send it personally sa messenger sa mga clients niya or prospective clients. So once those people from her network or within her network will open the link, so let's click the link. This is how it would look like to them. So I will answer it first. I'll just put, I will show you how it would look like when people are answering the survey. And then, so let's say I'll select this one and then hit submit. So whenever a person responds or answers the survey, this is how it would look like. You would see from the one that you created na merong responses. And you would also check kung sino yung nag-answer, ano yung email address, what's the name of the person, and yung mga responses ng person na yan. So later on, when already a lot of people are answering the survey, the data gathered or presented here on the responses will be utilized by your client to market their service. Dito sila kukuha ng mga tips, ideas, whatsoever para mapa-improve yung mga services or mga marketing strategies nila based sa survey na ginawa at pinasagutan nila. Are we guys able to follow?
Yep.
So I'll send you the link to this survey. I want you to answer that para ipakita ko sa inyo kung ano yung magiging itsura once people have started answering the survey. So many people can answer this survey. There is no limit actually to how many people can answer this. Whether it's thousands, it will still be recorded on the responses. So please click the link and answer the survey for me. Once we're done with the link, later on, we will take our break first. When we get back, I will let you do some activities with creating this one. So I will ask, when we get back from break, I will ask Steven to create a form, a Google survey form for us, and this will be all about vaccine. And next would be Synapse, and then we can continue with Google Calendar. Yeah. Everybody done answering the survey? So si Donna done, Steven done, si Nips, and si Mark. Okay, Carla as well. All right. So if you can see guys, ayan, makikita nyo kung sino yung mga nag-answer, mga names nila, and then their ages, and the answers to the questionnaires. If your client wanted to see the individual response, you can just basically go to the individual item right here, and she can select the email. Let's say gusto kong malaman yung answer ni Steven. I will click on Steven's email, and ito yung sagot niya. Okay? Tapos later on, i-collate to ni ni client yung mga email address na to, and your client will ask you, Yani, go ahead and enter this in our database. So, isi-save mo ngayon itong mga names and email address sa database ni client mo para whenever in the future may bago kayong project, pag mag-email blast kayo, isa si Steven sa mga masisenda ng email. Are you guys following?
Yes.
All right. So, it's already 3:51. Let's take a break first and let's be back at exactly 4:10. Ay, 4:05. 4:06 pala. Bobo saman. Mag 15-minute break tayo, guys. Tapos 4:06 balik tayo. So, we will just do 2 activities. Tapos mag-Google Calendar topic tayo. Okay? Don't leave the call. Just put yourselves on mute.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. So you can access your calendar sa Google Apps. You can download this on your phone as well. And it helps actually clients to be on top of their schedule and to make sure that they're doing whatever is on their to-do list. So if you can see, this is how my calendar would look like. And just like my clients, I always wanted to be organized so that I know what I will be doing for that particular day and at that particular time. So if you can see, punong-puno yung schedule ko as of today until Wednesday, and hindi ko pa siya tapos i-plot sa calendar ko. So parang it will make me, this is also like a reminder for your clients on what will be the schedule for that day para alam mo din kung pwede mo pa siyang lagyan ng schedule na yan, or if somebody is reaching out for your client to work for a coaching purpose, meron pa bang availability si client, something like that. So let's go to this page here na wala kayong makikita. Google Calendar is one of the applications that clients are utilizing whenever they manage rather their schedule and calendar, especially if they're not really someone who wanted to pay more for a third-party application to set up their booking links and manage their schedule. So Google Calendar is the manual version of plotting your schedule or plotting the schedule of your client. And your responsibility as a virtual assistant is to make sure that all the schedule of your clients are plotted correctly on his or her calendar. And also you will be the one who will be putting manually all the customers who wanted to book an appointment with your client. So Google Calendar, the purpose of this will depend, of course, on the niche or line of business of your clients. Most of the clients are lifestyle coaches. Most of the clients are digital marketers, wherein people all over the world are asking for an appointment with them. Since especially now rather that we already have the pandemic, everything is done online. So may clients ako before na ang session niya is done in person, meaning to say whenever somebody wanted to make an appointment with that client, pupuntahan siya sa office. But now that there's pandemic, the session has been migrated, or they have already utilized the online platforms to market their business and services. So, pwedeng yung client mo coach, pwedeng transformational coach, pwedeng speaker, pwedeng author, whatsoever yung line of business nila. But most likely, they will be needing to have their schedule managed by somebody else. For them to stay up to date with the task, for them to stay up to date with their schedule, for them not to worry about missing an important event or appointment with regards to growing their business or companies. So your goal is to plot the schedule of your client whenever somebody wanted to make an appointment with your client, or minsan sasabihin ni client, Yani, can you please put this on my calendar? Put that on Friday, February 13, I will have an appointment with my kids at school. So even mga personal errands or personal agenda ng clients natin, guys, we have to take care of them. So sometimes, pinapalagay nila dyan, meron niya akong client, pinapaplot niya sa akin sa calendar niya yung mga appointment niya sa salon para hindi niya makalimutan. O, diba? Bongga. So, people will be reaching out to your client for an appointment. So let's say ang client mo is a coach. So syempre, they will be reaching out to your client for coaching purposes. Meron akong client na she offers different coaching programs. Merong for diamond leadership, merong for women empowerment, merong for couples coaching, couples retreat, meron naman for people who are depressed, and meron naman mga single na heartbroken. May mga ganun siyang coaching programs. So whoever gustong magpa-coach and magpa-heal sa kanya, they're just booking an appointment with them, and they're reaching out via email, via messenger, via Instagram message, and pwedeng Facebook message or pwedeng iMessage. Depende kung paano nila makokontak yung client mo. So first thing first, whenever you manage the calendar of your client is, you have to go back to the guidelines or SOP. So every company, every client has an SOP. Ano ba yung tinatawag nating SOP? It's your guiding principle. It's your guidelines or protocol on what to follow whenever you process or whenever you manage the schedule of your client. That means to say, you have to follow that. For example, si client ba, according to the SOP, sabi niya, Yani, as long as it's Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., your client's time, basta wala ako diyang schedule, nakaplat sa calendar ko, it's blank. Somebody wants to make an appointment with me, go ahead and book it in my calendar. Are you guys following? So sabi ni client, no need na to ask permission from your client, basta pag may gustong mag-book ng appointment, ilagay sa calendar. There are also clients wherein kahit bakante yung calendar niya, whenever somebody would like to make an appointment with them, you still have to ask them first before you plot it on their calendar kung available ba sila or hindi. Or kung pwede ba nilang i-accommodate yung client na yun na, nagbo-book sa kanila. Are we guys following so far?
Yep.
Alright. Nandito ba si wait lang ha. Check ko lang yung mga participants. Sorry guys. Kaya dapat talaga tomorrow naka-video ako para makikita ko kung andito yung mga participants. Mark, are you good na with your audio? May audio ka na?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes,
Perfect. Amazing yan. Alright. So, anyway, going back, so ito yung Google Calendar, and this is exactly what you can see with your client's calendar. So remember that this Google Calendar is not your calendar, but this will be your client's calendar. You will have access to this. Even the email of your client, you will have access to that. So bibigyan kayo ng mga logins. Just like when you're working in a BPO company, meron kayong mga logins, meron kayong mga access sa details ng mga customers nyo. Make sure that you are protecting that data privately. Okay? Hindi natin siya pwedeng gamitin for personal purposes whatsoever. This is work. Everything should be protected. So since you have access to the logins of your clients, baka kasi mamaya i-hack nyo yung mga account niya, palitan nyo yung mga password, alam mo yun? Something na makakasira sa career nyo. So if you can see, you would see here the days of the week from Sunday to Saturday, the days of the week, as well as yung mga contacts nyo kung meron kayo, and whatever holidays that we may have, whoever is the user. So syempre, since we're located in the Philippines, what the holidays that you can see here would be the Philippine holidays. Especially when you view that on a monthly basis. So makikita mo dyan, all plotted in green are Philippine holidays. So if your client is from the United States, whatever are the US holidays on their area or in their country, yun yung lalabas. So you can view the calendar of your client weekly or daily, pwedeng weekly basis, pwedeng monthly basis. But nevertheless, you will be managing the schedule of your client on a weekly basis. Sometimes you will be plotting schedule for your clients months prior or ahead of time. Okay, so let's have this scenario that according to the SOP of your client, as long as it's 9 o'clock, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., and the calendar of your client is vacant or nothing is plotted, whenever somebody wants to make an appointment, just go ahead and plot. Are we following with the scenario? We're good? Silence means yes, so I'll take that as a yes.
Yes.
Alright. So, sabi ngayon ni client, may nag-email. So, syempre, you would check the email. Kasi one of your responsibilities is also to check if your client has emails. So, we will talk about that sa email management portion. So, may nag-email kay client mo and wanting to book an appointment. So, let's say may nabasa kang email. Let's say ang client natin ay si Donna, for example. And yung VA is si Carla. So let's say si Carla yung virtual assistant. So since Carla saw an email that nag-email, for example, si Mark. Sabi ni Mark, "Hi Donna, I wanted to make an appointment with you for your coaching program. May I know when is your available date?" Okay, that's the email of the customer, si Mark. So since si Carla ang VA, and according to the SOP of your client, as long as bakante yung calendar ko dyan, pag may gustong magpabook, you have to plot it by yourself without asking me na. Okay? So Carla, what will be your next step once you have read that email asking for availability of Donna as your client?
Check the availability of client. Then, pagbubook ng appointment using Google Calendar.
Okay. So let's say chinek mo. Let's say na ano tayo ngayon, August 9, for example. Chinek mo na August 9 hanggang August 13, vacant yung client schedule mo. What are you going to do next?
As for preferred time and date.
Ni customer. All right, very good. So very good. Sabi ni Carla, she will respond back to the email and she would say, "Hi, Mark. Donna is available Mondays to Friday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Do you have any preferred time or date according sa binigay niyang schedule?" So for example, sinabi ni Mark, nag-reply back siya kay Carla. Sabi ni Mark, "I wanted to make an appointment on Thursday at 9 o'clock. So what should we do next?"
Create an appointment, then send a confirmation.
All right. So sabi ni Carla, you plot it on the calendar, create an appointment, plot it on the calendar, and then mag-send ka ng email invite or confirmation of the schedule with the customer. That's actually correct. Any other answers from the group? What should you do next? Kasi sabi ni customer, I wanted to make an appointment on August 12 at 9 o'clock. What about the others? What should you do next? Sabi ni Carla, plot. What about you guys? Nips, ikaw, anong gagawin mo?
I will confirm the schedule to my client.
Do we need to confirm the schedule from the client? Kasi sabi sa SOP, basta vacant dyan yung schedule ko, no need to ask me.
From the customer po.
Sabi ni customer, sige, go ahead. Gusto ko ng August 12. Anong next?
I will schedule it on August 12.
Alright, so same with Carla, i-plot na siya for August 12. Thank you. What about you, Steven? Ano yung sa tingin mo dapat gawin?
Same thing as well. Schedule,
thing.
then send a confirmation to the customer about their schedule.
All right. Thank you. O, let's ask from Mark. Mark, anong gagawin mo pag ganitong scenario?
Ma'am, yung time siguro, ma'am.
Anong time?
Kung available time na, ma'am, saka yung
Check mo yung... I'm sorry, what was that? Can you say that again?
Time, ma'am, yung time.
Anong meron sa time? Anong gagawin?
Yung schedule ng oras para doon sa...
So sabi ni client, Mark, sabi ni
Yes,
customer, gusto niya magpabook ng August 12 ng 9 o'clock. So nakita mo dito, blank siya. Wala siyang schedule. So pwede natin siyang i-plot, di ba? But bago natin i-plot, ano yung kailangan natin gawin? Do you have any idea on what needs to be done? Anong kailangan gawin bago natin to ilagay dito sa calendar ni client mo? Okay, that's a wonderful answer. Char. Do you have any other idea, Mark? That's okay kung wala ha.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so no more idea. I-check mo lang yung ano, i-confirm kay customer. Yun ba yung sagot mo?
Yes po.
Alright, so thank you. So lahat naman ng mga sagot nyo guys ay tama. Only that we're missing a very important thing right here. So, your client is usually somebody outside the Philippines, right? Your client can be from the United States, can be from Canada, UK, Australia, New Zealand, Bali, Singapore, wheresoever.
Time conversion?
Correct. So that means anybody from any part of the country or from the world will be able to make an appointment with your client. Now, the question is, taga saan si customer mo? Did we bother to ask your customer? Kasi for example, si client mo taga New Zealand. Are we sure na talaga New Zealand din yung ano natin, yung customer natin? Or did we even ask kung ano yung time zone ni customer? Okay? So make sure guys na before you can plot the schedule of the appointment sa calendar ni client, you already verified the time zone of this customer. Okay? So before we plot, kasi we need to make sure na yung 9 a.m. ni client is also 9 a.m. for the customer. Paano kung yung 9 a.m. pala ni client, madaling araw yun kay customer? Ano, papagisingin natin si customer ng madaling araw for the appointment? Definitely not. Unless gusto niya talaga yung ganun. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So that means when Carla provided, so syempre si Carla, sabi niya kanina, my client is available Mondays to Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. New Zealand time. Say, taga New Zealand si client mo, for example. So syempre, the next thing that Carla would ask is, what time zone are you at? Pag sinabi ngayon ni customer na, I am from Sydney, Australia. And sa Sydney, Australia, and let's say gusto niya 9 a.m., no, magpapabook ng appointment, what you will do is you will utilize this online platform called TimeBuddy. This is an online converter. So what you will do here is you will just place lang. So this is what I suggest that you will do, you will use whenever you convert time zones. TimeBuddy. So si TimeBuddy, itatype mo lang dito yung place or location ni client mo, which is Auckland, New Zealand, for example, and I already have that. Tapos, ang next kong gagawin is itatype ko kung taga saan si customer. Let's say Sydney. Siya, Sydney, Australia. And then, I will change the date to August 12. So, August 12, ito yung kay New Zealand, ito yung kay Sydney. August 12 at 9 a.m. is what time kay Sydney? Sa calendar, anong nakalagay? Sa conversion, what time is it?
7 a.m.
7 a.m. So, this might be too early for the client, or the client might be okay with pushing through the appointment. So, it depends. So, kung sinabi ngayon ni client na taga Sydney siya and she wanted to make an appointment 9 o'clock ni customer mo, ay 9 o'clock ni client mo, and she's okay with that, go ahead and plot. But let's say 9 o'clock ng time niya, that's basically 11 o'clock sa time ni client mo. Understand everybody?
Mhm.
So the logic behind asking the time zone of the customer is for you to determine whether the time of your client and the time of the customer will meet halfway. Otherwise, hindi matutuloy yung appointment. They have to select another time or they have to select another date. So let's just say they're good with 9 a.m. kay client, 7 o'clock kay Sydney. That's the time that you will now plot the schedule on the calendar of your client. Okay, and how do we do that? We just go to the calendar, click on create, pwede ding click on the blank space right here. It doesn't matter. you can do so, whatever works for you. So I'll hit create, and then I'll just put the name of the appointment. Let's say, for example, coaching with Donna. Ay, si Donna pala yung client natin, no? Coaching with Mark. Kasi siya yung customer. Date would be August 12. And this one right here, kaninong time ang gagamitin ko dito?
Client.
Kay client. So si client natin is 9 o'clock. And let's just say, that's just 1 hour appointment. Make sure as well na you're selecting the correct time. Kung morning, kung PM, PM. And then, on this portion right here, yung time zone, make sure guys that you are changing it. Unless, naka-set up na yung time zone mo sa setting ni client. Kasi since you're using your computer to plot the schedule, basically, ang time zone na naka-register dito would be the Philippine time zone. And the 9 o'clock, pag nilagay mo tong 9 o'clock, tapos hindi mo pinalitan yung time zone, lagay ko yung Manila ha. When you put Manila right here, 9 o'clock of Manila time is actually 11 o'clock kay Sydney and 1 p.m. kay client. That means you are plotting it incorrectly. So meaning to say, hindi magmi-meet yung client mo on the specified schedule kasi mali yung pagkakaplot mo dito. Are we guys able to follow that?
Yep.
Okay, that's the importance of checking the correct time zone. So, syempre, papalitan natin to ng New Zealand time. And if you can see, wala siyang search box. So, ako, ayoko yung iisa-isahin kong hanap. Nahanapin ko kung nasan dito yung New Zealand. Kasi this is not alphabetically arranged. This is arranged according to the time zone. So, syempre, we have Google as our friend. So, I will just put GMT Auckland. Yan. May mga bagay-bagay na matutulungan tayo ni Google. So the current time zone is this one, UTC plus 12. I'll go back to my calendar and I'll go over to GMT plus 12. Yan. GMT plus 12, New Zealand time. I'll hit OK. And then add guest. So syempre, we will put the email address of our guest here. Kung ano yung email address niya, but in the meantime, I will use this one. And location can be Zoom link or pwede ding leave it blank kasi depende kay client mo kung anong preference sila on how they will be meeting. But most likely, Zoom link ito siya. So ilalagay mo lang dito yung Zoom link ng client mo whenever she has a coaching session kasi minsan may mga client na may specified Zoom link na talaga sila. And then, on the description, this one, add description, you can put here the times. So, ano lang to guys, optional, but there are clients na gusto nilang ilagay dito yung time zone ni customer. So, si customer taga Sydney, di ba? That's 7 a.m. Sydney time. Para they're reminded lang kung anong oras yun kay Sydney. Okay? Tapos, I'll hit save. So, ayan, make sure you have the correct date, correct time zone, the email address of the person or the customer, and then location, if it's applicable, pwedeng Zoom link. And then, you can put a note here, like anong oras siya kay customer mo. It's optional. Ako, gusto ko lang ganyan kasi may mga clients ako na gusto nila lagyan ko ng note na ano yung sa time zone ni customer. Once I hit save, Google would ask you, would you like to send invitation emails to Google Calendar guests? This is a time that you would click yes. Ito yung email confirmation na sinasabi nyo kanina. So, I'll hit send and masisenda na ng email si client mo, si customer mo rather with the appointment. If you can see, nakalagay dito 5 a.m. to 6 a.m. sa calendar ko, it's because I'm using a Philippine time zone. Kasi ayan, ang 9 a.m. kay Auckland is 5 a.m. sa Philippine time. So don't worry about this kasi sa end ni client and sa end ni customer, it has the correct time conversion. Okay? Unless gusto kong baguhin yung setting sa calendar ko and gawin ko siyang New Zealand ang time zone ko para hindi ako magpapalit whenever. So let's say palitan ko siya ng New Zealand, which I don't recommend. Kasi nga, meron akong multiple clients. Kaya malilito-lito ako sa time pag sinet up ko siya sa time zone ng isa kong client. Pag pinalitan ko yung time zone ni client, pag pinalitan ko yung time zone ko sa PC ko rather, if you can see, sa appointment ko, nakalagay na 9 o'clock, which is the New Zealand time zone. Okay? But, pabalik na lang natin to sa GMT Philippine time. GMT plus 8. Saan na yung Philippine time? GMT plus 8. Hold on. This one. All right. Any questions so far? No questions? Carla, are you using a desktop or a phone?
Desktop, laptop.
Okay, sige. I will give you the remote, the access to the remote control, and I want you to plot on my calendar. So here is our scenario. The client is from Denver, Colorado. And let's use the SOP na as long as it's 9 o'clock to 5 p.m. Monday to Friday, client's time. As long as vacant, you plot on the calendar. Okay? Somebody was sending an email. Somebody sent an email asking to make an appointment with your client on August 16 at 10 o'clock Denver time, but the client is from New York. Sorry, customer is from New York. So again, client is from Denver, Colorado. Customer is from Manhattan, New York, wanting to make an appointment for August 16 at anong oras yung binigay ko? Kalimutan ko na. At 11 o'clock na lang, Colorado time.
Ano pala. Client is from Colorado. Wait lang.
Sige lang, go.
Nagti-take note lang.
Sure.
Blanks.
Hindi pala masarap inumin yung kape pag maano na, no? Hindi mainit. So, client is from Manhattan, New York.
No. Client is from Manhattan, New York.
Mm-hmm.
Customer is from Denver, Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
Then yung ano po appointment?
August 16 at 11 o'clock Colorado time. So please check time buddy with the conversion, and if the schedule matches according to the SOP, then you can go ahead and plot it on the calendar.
August 16.
11 o'clock Denver time.
Okay. Saan eh?
Go to my time buddy. Wait lang. Can you access my screen? No. Let me give you another access. Carla, can you check?
Wala pa rin.
There you go.
Ayun.
So remove Auckland, Sydney, and Manila there and replace it with the client and customer's location. Then August 16. Remove Manila as well. Change it to Denver, Colorado. Kasi taga doon si client. Okay. Kasi lagay mo si Denver sa taas. Alright.
To 10 a.m.
11.
Ay, 11 a.m. Bali.
Okay. 11 a.m. Colorado is 1 p.m.
1
Manhattan. So,
p.m.
that is a good schedule. So, for sure, sabi ni customer and client, they're good to go with that. Okay, si customer, you can plot it on the calendar. Oh my God, ang holiday pala, 21, sayang. Dapat ano na lang, Friday, Saturday, imbis na Saturday. Pag Saturday kasi, pag holiday kasi sa Philippines, bayad ako, tas wala akong pasok. Hindi wala nakaabot, char.
Ano pang magandang title?
Coaching, sino yung client natin? You can put any client's name.
Nips.
Okay.
Denver ay ano ba? Salito na.
So, August 16, 11 o'clock, Denver time.
Denver time.
Mhm.
Nautal na eh. Hindi po ito nakaano, no?
Yep, you have to change the time zone.
Ilagay ko muna siya sa settings.
Kahit dyan na lang sa time zone mo palitan para later on, when we have another activity, hindi na nila papalitan doon.
Okay po.
So, doon na lang sa calendar. Okay, nawala na siya. Gawa ka na lang ulit. So, ano yung GMT ni Denver? Mark, ikaw yung next, ha?
Yes po.
Alright. Be ready. Char.
-6.
Current time zone, GMT -6. Okay.
Kakalito naman yun.
Yes, correct. Yung pagmamanage ng schedule and calendar using Google Calendar application is very easy. The most tricky part is yung time zone conversion. Kaya make sure that when you are plotting on the calendar, you are using the correct time zone. Otherwise, it will mess up your client schedule as well as the customers.
Tama ba? Denver. Yun. Dito no need na po, no?
We're good with that. Hit okay. Then add a guest. Use the first name there that you can find when you type it. I use na lang Yani.
Then, location.
Location, leave it blank for the meantime. Kasi depende yan kay client mo kung paano sila mag-meet. On the description, you can put a note there kung ano yung time zone ni customer.
Oops. Manhattan, New York, 1 p.m. Then save.
Okay, yep, send it. All right, thank you, Carla. Do you have any questions about what you did?
Yung time lang, nakakalito.
Correct. So it's actually normal that you will be confused kasi this is the first time that you utilize this platform for scheduling. And if you're doing that over and over every day, you will be, of course, familiar with the client's calendar. Kaya nga, it's very important na when you apply for a virtual assistant, at least you have a basic background of what people are doing for their client. Hindi ka pwedeng mag-apply na wala kang experience kasi mangangapa ka talaga. Especially that there are a lot of experienced freelancers out there. So kung beginner ka, tapos wala ka pang experience, paano na, di ba? So thank you, Carla. Next, si Mark.
Po, ma'am.
Hi. Wait lang, Mark. Can you access my screen? Okay. So Mark, here is our scenario. I will type it, wait lang Mark, I will type it first sa chat box natin para may reference ka. Client is from, wait lang Mark ha, pahiram muna ako. Wait lang, magta-type lang ako. Client is from Canada, Queensland, Canada. Then customer is from, hold on. Customer is from Auckland, New Zealand. Appointment is on September 5. September 5. 1 p.m. client customer time. Okay, sorry. So client is from Canada in Queensland. Customer is from Auckland, New Zealand. Appointment September 5, 1 p.m. New Zealand time. So I'll give you the access again. Can you check it if you can access? Okay. So remove the Manhattan for me. Can you exit that out? Click sa left side. Yan. Sa left side, meron dyan X yun. Remove Denver as well. And the Queenstown, remove mo din yan. So type Queensland, New Zealand. Ay, Queensland, Canada. Type Canada nga. For Canada, palitan na lang natin ng Ontario. Baka hindi siya lumalabas dyan. Yeah. Let's use Ontario. The first one. Okay. Remove Queenstown and change it to Auckland, New Zealand. Anong oras na tayo? 1 p.m. customer time? Okay. So, ano yung 1 p.m. customer time? Wait lang. Palitan natin yung date. September yata yung preferred. September 5. Go back to the time body. So, change the calendar date. Wait lang, Mark. I-refresh mo yung page ko, please. Yan. Tapos, change the date into September 5. All right. So, September 5 is what day? Anong araw siya, Mark? Hello? Anong araw siya, Mark? September 5.
Sunday po, ma'am.
September 5 kay client. Kay customer. Anong araw siya kay client mo?
Sunday po.
Okay. So, pahiram muna ng remote, ha. If you can see, September 5, Sunday, is also Sunday kay New Zealand. And 1 p.m. is what time kay customer? 1 p.m. customer time is what time kay client?
1 p.m.
9 p.m.
Yes.
Okay, wait lang. So, according sa SOP ni client, hanggang anong oras lang siya pwedeng mag-appointment? Mag-book na appointment? Yung sa example natin kanina, ano yung sabi ni client sa SOP? What time lang pwedeng mag-appointment sa kanya?
9 po yata, ma'am.
9 o'clock to what time? 9 in the morning until what time?
9 p.m.
9 o'clock. Anong oras yun, guys, kanina?
9 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Right. 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. So it's already 9 p.m. client's time. What are we going to do if this is the case? And this is already late in the evening. Anong gagawin natin, Mark? Ipa-plot ba natin to sa schedule ni client? Oh, Mark, kung ikaw yung VA.
Oh, ma'am, sorry po.
Ha?
No, ma'am. Opo, ma'am. Pa-inform po muna yung client, ma'am.
Okay. So, sinasabi mo ba na you have to ask your client first?
Opo.
Okay. So, anong sasabihin mo kay client?
Inform po muna, ma'am, kung
Oh, no coaching ha. Ivy, no coaching. So Mark, think of it this way. Kung ikaw yung mag-handle nito, kasi there are times guys na kayo lang talaga mag-isa, wala kayong matatanungan. Paano kung ikaw yung nakapag-handle ng ganitong situation? What are you
Yes
going
po.
to do? So hanggang 5 o'clock lang pwedeng magpa-appointment kay client mo. Eh yung gusto ni customer, 9 o'clock ng gabi. Anong gagawin mo?
Ano po muna ma'am, confirm po muna kay customer ma'am.
Ano sasabihin mo kay
Gusto ni,
customer?
ay na kay client ma'am na gusto ni customer na mag-appointment ng ganung time ma'am.
Right, very good. So tell your client that, hey, somebody wants to make an appointment with you at 1 o'clock, Auckland, New Zealand time, but that's 9 o'clock your time. Okay? Thank you, Mark. So actually, guys, before you can even inform your client na may gustong magpa-appointment sa kanya, what should you do first? Anybody who wants to help Mark, anong gagawin natin? Before natin sabihan si client na, uy, may gusto magpa-appointment sa'yo, ano yung pinakaunang gagawin? Steven, you want to help?
Since it is outside yung sa availability or based on the standard operating procedure, I think it would be best if inform the customer first if they have other preferred date and time, since and informing them as well that hindi na available yung time na yun.
Right. You have to inform first the customer and educate the customer kung ano yung time zone ng appointment ni client lang. So sabihin mo na, I understand that you wanted to make an appointment at 1 p.m. your time. However, Donna, for example, the client is only available from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. New Zealand time. So, does this work for you? Tatanungin mo siya. Kasi yung 9 a.m. is actually 1 a.m. ni customer, which is not okay kasi madaling araw kay customer. But yung 5 p.m. ni client mo is actually 9 a.m. kay customer. So that means pwede silang mag-meet ng either 4 p.m. Toronto time, which is 8 o'clock kay Auckland time, or pwede din silang 5 p.m. Toronto time, which is 9 o'clock New Zealand time. Are we guys following? So there are instances na the schedule doesn't work exactly how the customer wanted it to be. It's because it's outside of the operating procedure of your client. Remember, different locations, different time zones, that time difference will really can affect the appointment. So tama yung gagawin nyo na sabihan muna si customer, and yung yung gagawin din kanina ni Mark na i-inform si client kasi baka naman gusto ni client i-accommodate. May mga clients naman who are willing to accommodate, especially if this is a customer na big time. 'Di ba? Why not? Mag-stay siya ng late, 9 o'clock sa time niya para lang i-accommodate yung customer na to. Pwede din naman. But as much as possible, of course, we stick to our SOP. There are instances na pwedeng go above and beyond si client mo, but may mga client na prima donna, ayaw nilang mag-adjust. Are we guys good with that?
Yep.
Okay. So in the event na willing naman mag-adjust si customer, say 5 p.m. Toronto time, and that's 9 o'clock New Zealand time, go ahead and plot it in the calendar for me, Mark. Okay, pwede mo na siyang ilagay sa Google Calendar. So, follow natin yung 5 p.m. Toronto, which is 9 o'clock kay New Zealand. Okay. Tapos guys, if you wanted to be more familiar with Google Calendar, if you want to practice at home, go ahead. I suggest that you do so para you can be familiar with the system. So since my Google Calendar naman kayo, as long as meron kayong Gmail, you can always play along with TimeBuddy and Google Calendar para maging familiar kayo sa pag-plot ng schedule. Lagay mo dyan, Steven. Okay. And let's check your time. Sunday. Anong oras ka dapat magpa-plot? 5 o'clock? Okay. All right. And sige, balik ka na sa pina-plot mo. Then time zone. What are you going to do? Oops, akit muna, Mark. So bibigyan ko kayo ng tip, guys, ha. Whenever you perform a task, always start from the top to the bottom. Okay? Hindi pwedeng nasa taas ka, biglang nasa gitna ka na, biglang nasa baba ka na. You make sure that all fields are filled out correctly. So sa time zone, pindutin mo yung time zone. Yep, that's it. Anong time zone dapat ilalagay natin dyan, Mark? Kaninong time zone? Kaninong time zone, Mark?
Toronto, ma'am.
Toronto. So, punta ka sa Google para mas madali. Hanapin mo doon yung GMT ni Toronto. Okay. You wanna say hi to them?
No. Hi. Mommy, can I study, please?
You sit here with mommy. We're almost done.
Can I hear headset?
No, we cannot hear the headset. Ha? Wait
Is
lang.
that voice?
Yes.
Can I hear the voice?
Oh.
Hi.
Hi.
Did you hear them?
Yes.
Yung
How
anak ko,
old are
gusto mo
you?
How old are you daw? How old are you?
Yes. Oh.
3 years old.
What are you doing?
How are you doing daw, Carla?
I'm
Siya na nagtanong, how are you doing?
fine.
You're fine? Okay.
How are you? Oh.
What? Wait lang kasi Mark is doing an activity. Look ko, Mark is studying. Ay, wait lang. Ano yung GMT ni Toronto, Mark? Current is GMT -4. So, punta ka sa Google Calendar and proceed to GMT -4. Nasa taas siya.
I want water, Mommy. Get some water for me so I can.
Wait lang. I think may Canada time dyan sa taas. Sige pa. Wala. Canada. I think there's a specific time for Canada. Anyway, anything na GMT -4, that's okay. But let's just use for Canada. So, nasa GMT -5 ka, baba ka pa. Sige pa. Wala bang specific for Canada? Sige, scroll down. Oh, wala. Sige pa nga, one more. Toronto, wala din. Wala, no? Sige, use na lang anything. Ay, eto may
Eastern time.
Toronto. Ayan. So, okay. Very good. And then on the guess, put the email address of your customer. Maybe no. Okay. All right. And then sa description, please provide the time zone of the customer. Okay. Taga Auckland yata, taga New Zealand siya. And that's 9 o'clock in the morning, 9 a.m. New Zealand time. Okay, make sure that you're capitalizing the word New Zealand, capital N, kasi it's a proper noun. Right, as well as the letter Z. All right, hit save. Just click send for me. Okay. Thank you so much, Mark. Good job. Do you have any questions? Okay, very good. So anyway, that is how you plot the schedule of your calendar manually. Before we move on to the automatic version of plotting schedules, what have you learned so far in terms of managing the schedule of your client? Nips. Naalala ko yung Nips na chocolate dito kay Normaline. What have you discovered or learned so far?
I have learned how to set the time zone. That I have learned that the client has a different customer in different country because I thought that they are just the same country when you have a
Location.
customer.
Yeah, that's right. So, big realization 'yan talaga. And it's not just you guys. Even mga previous trainees ko, what they're doing is they actually thought na they have the customer is within the same location as to that of your client, which is not correct. Your customer can be anywhere, can be from the Philippines, even if your client is from the United States. Kasi they're providing services worldwide. So make sure na you're checking always the location and time zone of your customer. Para you can check, you can counter check if they have the same conversion or time zone with your client. Okay? Thank you. What about you, Carla? Since you were the very first one who did this activity.
Medyo confused about the time conversion. But kasi usually pag ako puro Philippine time lang eh. So yun, medyo nakakalito siya sa time conversion.
Right. It really is. Kaya guys, I always want to make sure na whenever you perform this task, make sure that you are checking the time zone correctly and you are asking questions like what time zone are you at? What is your location? And always stick to the SOP of your client. Whenever you make a mistake right here, there are clients na forgivable. Parang they will forgive you or they can forgive you once or twice. Pero may mga clients na pag namali mo yung schedule nila, they can terminate you. I'm not scaring you, but I just wanted you to be careful. Kasi I'll share you the experience that I have with my first client. My first client terminated a colleague of us because of incorrect plotting ng schedule dahil din sa time zone conversion. So, it's a big company. And if you guys have heard of Jack Canfield, kilala niyo ba si Jack Canfield? Hindi? Kapitbahay niyo siya. Char. If you guys have heard of Chicken Soup for the Soul na book, hindi pa din. Basta siya yung author
Yeah.
siya yung author ng book na yon, Chicken Soup for the Soul. So isa siya sa mga big business tycoon, kumbaga. And then si Lisa Nichols, tapos si mga Joe Vitale, ganun na yung mga customer ng client ko. And we're booking these personalities for a speaking engagement. Kumbaga magiging speaker sila sa isang event ng client namin. And there's this person who manages the schedule of our client. So siya yung nagpa-plot. For example, she will reach out to Joe Vitale, she will reach out to Jack Canfield, and magpapabook siya ng appointment na, hey, parang, for example, si Yani, gusto kang kunin na speaker, may I know when is the available date that you have para ma-interview ka ng client ko. Parang ganon. Tapos pag nagka-lock in ng time and date, pinaplot niya sa calendar ni client, tapos nagsisend siya ng Zoom link. The problem is, she is not doing it correctly. Why? I will show you another platform called TimeB. So for those who are not on mute, pa-mute muna mga smarties. Yan. Please put yourselves on mute. Thank you so much. So TimeB is also a time zone converter used by other clients. This is also a good one to use. And during that time, hindi ko pa alam actually si TimeBuddy. Yung nagmamanage ng calendar ni client namin is using Time B. I will show you the difference. Si Time B, let's just say, ang client mo ay taga Bali. Okay? And, oops, hold on. So, let's say Bali to New Zealand. So, this is the time zone for for New Zealand and this is for the Bali. 7 o'clock or 7:30 New Zealand time is 3 a.m. sa Bali. So, let's check kung same sila sa time body. Kasi baka yung client nyo guys, baka lang maka-encounter kayo ng client na gumagamit ng time B. So, at least you know na you should never use time B. So, Bali. Hold on. I'll just use Jakarta, Indonesia. Kasi Bali is in Indonesia. So, Jakarta and then Auckland, New Zealand. So, New Zealand, 7 o'clock is actually already 2 o'clock. Yan siya. Pero kay time B, 3 o'clock siya kay time B. Ang 7 o'clock sa Bali. Can you guys see the difference? So, bakit Yani 3 o'clock dito sa time B and kay time body, ano siya? 2 o'clock. Bakit ganun? Kasi, ang nakalagay dito ay September na date. That means to say, if you guys have heard of daylight savings time, si time body, dinidetermine niya, parang she talaga, you know, this platform is already converting the time zone, taking into consideration the effect of the daylight savings time. Meaning to say, naka-convert na to whether it's DST or hindi siya DST. So, kay Mark, since si Mark and si Nips, hindi pa sila nakapag-BPO, so this might be the first time you've heard of DTS. Yung DST pala. Yung DST or tinatawag nating daylight savings time, ito yung time na magmo-move forward ka or magmo-move backward. Ibig sabihin, halimbawa, 9 p.m. sa Amerika, Florida time, it's 9 p.m. Sa Pilipinas, 9 a.m. siya ng gabi. So, kung DST na, magiging 8 a.m. na siya ng umaga sa US, Florida time. Pero 9 o'clock pa lang dito sa atin sa umaga. Following? Tama ba example ko? 8 o'clock ng umaga sa Florida, pero 9 o'clock ng gabi sa atin. Parang ganun siya. Kasi nag-DST na, so nag-move forward na yung time nila. Tapos kung mag-end na naman yung DST, magbabalik na sila sa normal wherein 9 p.m. sa umaga sa kanila, 9 p.m. ng gabi sa atin. Following? So tinitake into consideration nila yung DST. So something na hindi ginagawa ng time B. Hindi siya nakakapag-convert with the DST or no DST. But if you check the current date, which is July 31, mapapansin nyo na it's actually 7 a.m. is still 2 a.m. pa rin kay time body kasi nga naka-daylight savings time na ngayon yung New Zealand. Okay? Any questions? No questions? So guys, pag mayroon kayong client na gumagamit ng time body, huwag nyo itong gamitin. Gamitin nyo pa rin yung kung may client kayong gumagamit ng time B, huwag nyo ito siyang gamitin. Always use time body kasi this is the most accurate one. So ang nangyari is, dahil dito siya nag-convert ng time zone, which is mali, when she plotted it sa calendar ng client, hindi nag-meet yung mga appointments. More than 20 appointments yun. That means, yung lahat ng appointments na yun, mali ang plotting. So for example, bukas may appointment dapat si client. Hindi sila nag-meet sa Zoom call kasi mali yung conversion ng time zone. Which is, ang nangyari, nag-lose ng mga potential client and potential collaborators ang client namin. Kasi nga, mga big personalities na to, tapos hindi na sila yung tipong okay lang sa kanila magpa-reschedule or sometimes nagagalit sila kasi bakit ganon? Hindi plotted ng tama yung mga appointments. So yun, since 20 appointments yun, na-terminate yung kasama ko. Tapos ako yung pumalit while I'm doing project management. Pinalitan ko yung schedule and calendar. Kaya I always make sure na I provide that example as a lesson to each and every one of us na whenever we plot the calendar, talagang kailangang tama. Okay? So again guys, don't use time B, always use time body. Following? Are we good with this?
Yes.
Okay. So if you don't have any questions, I will move on to Calendly. So ito yung Calendly is the automatic version of plotting the calendar. So, di ba kanina na-mention ko na if your client don't have extra money or doesn't want to spend extra money to pay for another platform to manage the schedule, ang ginagamit is Google Calendar, which is the manual plotting. But there are instances wherein client have a booking link. So clients have booking links, meaning to say, the system, it's being set up on the system and ang mangyari is, hindi kayo ang magpa-plot, the customer will be the one to plot the appointment for themselves. Alright? And the most common platforms being utilized by clients for schedule and calendar with booking links is Calendly. So, most likely, yung client nyo may Calendly na yan siya, and then, bibigyan lang kayo ng access, but if your client has no Calendly yet, you can always suggest to your client to use this one. So you can just go to Google and type calendly.com. And by the way, if you want to also navigate this system, you can sign up for free for up to 30 days without putting any credit card information or any payment information. Pwede nyo siyang paglaruan para you'll get to be familiar as well. All you have to do is to sign up or create an account, and once you have an account, you will be directed to this page that would look like this. Right? If you can see, blanco lahat is because I wanted to show you how to create a booking link and start from scratch, just in case your client wants you to create a booking link for that particular schedule or for that particular program. Are we guys good? Okay. So, depende sa line of business ni client. As, di ba na-mention ko kanina na meron akong client na meron siyang diamond program, meron siyang leadership program, meron siyang coaching for couples. So, each program or each line of business of your client will have a different booking link. So, that booking link, ito yung magiging booking link ni client mo. If you open this, if you can see, wala pang makikita, it's because hindi pa tayo nag-create. So, how do we create that? You can just click on the plus sign right here. But before that, I want to show you this one. Yung event type, this is where you can create the booking links. According to the program of your client. The scheduled events, dito mo makikita yung mga plotted schedules ni client. Ayan siya. Kung may mga nakaplot. So, let's say gusto ko tong i-cancel. So, pwede natin tong i-delete. You know, you can do that. And then workflows, if you're using a pro account, may workflow siya like you can send or automatically may masisend na email sa customer about the appointment. Okay. So, let's start with creating a booking link first. Let's say your client has or is a coach, lifestyle coach, for example, or a fitness coach. Gusto niyang magkaroon siya ng booking link so that whenever customers would want to make an appointment with him or her, ibibigay lang natin yung booking link. So, let's create a new one. Use event type. And one-on-one. Most likely one-on-one yan kasi mahirap pag-group. Hindi nagpapag-group yung mga client. So the event name is, let's say, fitness coaching with Stephen, for example. Kasi si Stephen yung client natin. Si Stephen pala. Yan. Location, it can be in person, phone call, Google Meet, Zoom. It depends on your client. So do put whatever is applicable. I'll leave this blank for the meantime or in the meantime. Description will be coming from your client, or you can leave it as, you can leave also this as blank. This will be the booking link that will be generated. You have the option to edit it, pero kung gusto niyo namang okay na yan, just leave it as it is. You can change the colors. Let's say, for example, blue, and I'll hit next. Tapos dito, invitees can schedule. You have the option to show only kung 30 days lang ng schedule mo. Yung availability mo within 30 days, you have the option to show that. Or if you want them to book up to 60 days, pwede naman. Kanyan. Hold on. Ay, wait lang. Wait lang guys ha. Bakit na-save? I'll hit back first. Let me just start over kasi nabigla siyang nag-generate ng link. So I'll start over. I'll put fitness coaching with Steven. And then next. Tapos gusto ko up to 60 calendar days lang yung makikita nilang availability ko. So if it's already August, so August, September, October lang yung pwede nilang makita. But if I wanted to just put na August lang na date na ang makikita nila na pwede nilang i-book, I can just put 30 days. Duration, how long is that coaching? Is it going to be 15 minutes, 45 minutes, or 1 hour? I will use 60 minutes as an example first. Then how do you want to offer your availability for this event type? There are clients who wanted to have a specific schedule. Like for example, yung example ko kanina, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Mondays to Friday. That's a custom hour. Pag sinabi din ni client na, Yani, Monday to Wednesday lang ako, 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Thursday to Friday, 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. That's also an example of custom hours. So let's just use this one. Time zone, change this always to the time zone of your client. I will use for the meantime, gusto ko New Zealand. Favorite ko ang New Zealand eh. Let's just use Australia time. So, let's say Monday, ang sabi ni client, 9 a.m. to 12 noon lang siya available. Yan. Monday to Wednesday, 9 a.m. to 12 noon. So, you can type over here. Yan. Tapos, Wednesday is also 12 noon. And let's say Thursday, pwede siyang dumiretso ng 9 to 5 p.m. Same as well with 9 to 5 p.m. So let's say gusto ni client lagyan yung Saturday, you can always check the box and set this up. Pero kung wala siyang schedule for Saturday, just remove it.
Mommy.
And then, on the want to add a time before or after your event. So before the event, no need to add for a time kasi pag sinabing 8 o'clock yung 9 o'clock yung session, 9 o'clock talaga yun magsa-start. On the after event, there are instances wherein your client would allow 5 to 15 minutes as an extra time para lang to wrap up the session. Kasi minsan nag-i-extend. Hindi na to pwedeng mag 30 minutes or so. Otherwise, i-charge ka na ni client. Mag-charge na siya sa customer pag nag-overtime na. Okay, following? I'll just put 10 minutes for the meantime and I'll hit next. And this is now the booking link that will be generated. So whenever a customer will email your client asking for an appointment availability, ang gagawin mo na lang ngayon is, hi, this is the booking link of Stephen. Feel free to select or schedule an appointment according to your time or to whatever works for you. So when you click this link, ito yung makikita ng mga customer. Yan. Nakalagay anong pangalan ng client. So, it shows Yani Dizon kasi ako yung may-ari nitong platform. But kung kay Steven to, definitely pangalan nyo yung makikita dito. What is the name of that appointment? For how long? And if you can see, August na time, makikita nyo dito. And you can no longer see my schedule for September. Kasi 'di ba, sinet up ko siya kanina ng 30 days lang. 'Di ba? So, if I'm the customer and taga Singapore ako, I would select anything available here. So, anything in blue, that means the client is available. If it's grayed out, that means the client is not available. So, I'll use August 10, for example. And this is already converted on the time zone ni customer. So, kung taga Singapore siya, ito na yung available time ni client. So, I'll select 11 o'clock. I'll hit confirm. I'll put my name. And then I'll schedule the event. So once you have scheduled the event, the customer will be getting a confirmation that, okay, I'm already booked for the fitness coaching with Steven, 11 o'clock to 12 p.m. Tuesday, August 10, Singapore time. And a calendar invitation has also been sent to my email. So let's check the email of the customer. Kung may na-receive siya, and there you go. Andito na siya. So the customer has been sent of the email confirmation. Now, when you check the Calendly of your client, when you go back to the home page, you would see on the scheduled events, nandito na yung fitness coaching with Steven, naka-ano na siya, naka-plot na. 11 o'clock to 12 p.m. Australia time. Australia and Philippine time zone has the same time, so parehas lang yung lalabas. Are we guys good with this?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So here's what you need to do. What I want you to do is nips. What I want you to do, nips, is to create a booking link for us. So let's say si client mo gustong magpagawa ng booking link for a 30-minute coaching. Yun yung pangalan ng program, 30-minute coaching with Yani. Okay? So 30-minute coaching with Yani, available only MWF, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Canada time. Please create a booking link for me. And let me give you, of course, the access. Can you control my screen? All right. So whenever you're writing the event name, make sure as well that you use the right capitalization. So for 30 minutes, if it's 30 followed by a noun, you put a dash and you capitalize letter M. Right? Then coaching should be capital C. Kasi may mga client, guys, na they're very particular with this type of things. Like simple as yung mga tamang spelling, tamang capitalization, ano nila yan. Particular sila sa mga ganyang bagay. Location, just put Google Meet first, please. Okay. And I want you to set up something that they can see my schedule up to 90 days. Okay. Can you go back first and let's edit this one? Edit. Let's edit this first. Select the drop down, the arrow. So meron dyang setting icon and then there's an arrow down. Yan. Edit it please for me. Edit natin siya kasi go back. Can we go back pa? Go back. Scroll down. Nilagyan mo siya ng after hours kanina?
Hindi pa. Hindi pa.
Yung parang before the event and after the event?
Hindi ko po nilagyan.
Okay. So tama yon. Hindi mo lalagyan kasi this is just a 30-minute coaching and hindi na pwedeng magpa-excess hours si client mo. Dahil 30 minutes lang to tapos lalagyan natin ng after hours. So kung 9 o'clock matatapos yung session, dapat 9 o'clock, hindi na pwedeng mag-extend. Ganun yun. Alright. Thank you. Go back to the appointment page and book an appointment for me, please. Click that view booking page. Okay. So scroll to the right and select the September up to October na dates. If you notice guys, meron kayong mga availability makikita for the month of September and even October. It's because, select October for me. It's because si NIPS kanina, according to the client, set it up na up to 90 days makikita yung availability ng client mo. So, ayan siya. Unlike kanina nung 30 days, August lang talaga yung makikita mo. Select October 15 for me. And I am from Sydney. Napin natin dyan yung Sydney or Australia time. Sydney. So, yan yung availability ni client. According kay Sydney, sa time zone ni Sydney, I will select 4 p.m. Napalitan mo kanina yung time zone sa sa time ni client?
Hindi. Wala po.
Okay. Wait lang ha. Albaro. So make sure na whenever you plot, sorry kasi hindi ko siya kanina nakita. View booking page. This one right here. So make sure that you are changing it to the correct time zone. Ano yung time zone na binigay ko kanina? Canada.
MWF Canada.
Ayan. So, hindi na natin ito change. So, we have to make a new one. Kaya nagtaka ako kung bakit parehas ng schedule. So, make sure guys that you are also changing the time zone right here. And very good na you did not put the event type here. You did not check it. So, ito lang siya guys. Ditong time zone. Make sure that you're changing it. Okay? But other than that, good job. Any questions? No questions? I will ask Steven to do the last activity for me, please, before we end our session for today. Okay. So for Steven, I want you to create a booking link for me, and that booking link is for a 15-minute one-on-one coaching. 15-minute one-on-one coaching available Monday to Saturday. Let me just type na nga lang sa chat. And Monday to Saturday. 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. US time, Eastern time. Hindi na nakabalik si Donna. Hindi natin kasama si Donna pala.
Okay. One-on-one.
So, pwede kang
Okay.
one-on-one na word or pwede din
Yeah.
na 1:1.
That's good.
Alam niyo ba, meron akong 7:30 na session until 11:30. So, magdi-dinner lang kami ng baby ko tapos magko-koratsa mode na naman ako after.
And for the location, do we have any specifics in here?
Use Google Meet for me, please.
Okay.
Use custom hours.
Custom hours.
Then make sure that you edit the time zone. So Eastern time.
At 12 p.m.
Okay.
And about the date range, I think you have
Just
it
use
in
30 days.
30 days then. Okay, sure. All right.
Okay. And go ahead and book an appointment for me. Customer is from Australia. And let's see what are the available dates.
Australia.
Use Perth.
Okay. So these are the
Let's use August 27 and let's see kung ano available. Oh, gabi na pala yan kay Perth. So, pwede naman. So, let's say gusto ko lang ng 9 p.m. Why not? Pero gabi na pala siya. So, that most likely if I'm the customer and the availability is only from 9 p.m. my time, what I'll do as a customer is I will email the client asking for another availability kasi masyadong gabi na yun for me. Okay. And you can make an appointment there, please.
Okay, sure. Here's my name. Okay, should just choose in here. This one.
Yes.
Okay.
Dayani at Team Chabalus.
Again, pati dito.
No need. And
No
then
need,
schedule
just
the event,
schedule it. Okay.
right?
Send your email.
Okay, thank you. Amazing. So, what can you say about Calendly? Ano naman ang masasabi niyo sa experiences with Calendly?
Yeah, automatic nga siya.
Mhm.
If you compare it with Google, kailangan mo talagang isa-isahin
Right.
yung mga kliyente.
Right.
And in here, makikita mo yung schedule if in case na na-fill in na ng ibang customer, especially yung mga time sa specific date, makikita din ng iba na hindi na
Yes.
available yun.
And also your client is notified whenever somebody books an appointment. So you can check the email and you can check Calendly as well from time to time to make sure na you're not missing an appointment. Kasi minsan si client, hindi niya napansin may nag-book pala ng appointment sa kanya. Okay? And your responsibility right here is just to send the link. Let's say somebody wants to make an appointment, nag-email. All you just have to do is to send the booking link. Let's say, hi, Yanni, I wanted to make an appointment with you. May I know your schedule? So, ganun lang. So, if you're the VA, what you will do is say, hi, Donna. Here is Yanni's booking link. You may select a time and date that works for you. So, whatever is the appointment that they're asking for, kasi si client mo, pwedeng multiple booking link to siya. Pwedeng meron ditong 15-minute coaching, meron ditong 30-minute coaching, meron ditong, let's say, 1-hour coaching. So, whatever is the coaching type that your customer wanted to make an appointment with your client, you have to give the right link. So, dito ka naman malilito. But I don't think na malilito ka pa. Use the right link. So if it's a 15-minute coaching, use the booking link for the 15 minutes. Tapos, you paste it here. Same process like kung yung ginawa natin kanina, paano mag-attach ng link. Then, let me know if you have any questions. Warm regards, Carla. Ganyan. Sometimes, since I'm using the email of my client, I would just put here admin for Yanni. Or whatever is your designation. And then I'll hit send. So that when your client would receive the email, booking link, tapos i-click na lang nila tong link and sila na magbo-book for themselves. Like this one. It looks exactly like a calendar, but totally different from a Google Calendar, right? Okay. So anyway, we have a lot of things that we have discussed already this far. So tomorrow we will continue with our discussion. But before we end our session, let me just we already have covered the admin task and the schedule and calendar management. Though we're not yet done with admin task kasi we will talk about Google Sheet tomorrow. We'll continue with email management, social media, sales and email campaign, as well as Upwork. So, may concern lang pala ako guys. We might need to extend our training. Baka hindi natin kayaning matapos tomorrow dahil of course, it depends on the participants kung gaano kabilis or kung may mga connection issue, something like that. So, our next session will be tomorrow at 8 o'clock in the morning. Are you guys available?
Yep.
Tama ba? 8 o'clock ba yung pinlat ko? Wait lang ha.
Ay, alam ko same time.
Let me see my schedule. So tomorrow, 8 o'clock tayo guys kasi meron tayong other participants dahil meron akong second session sa isang group. Dalawa lang naman sila or tatlo and I decided na ipag-isahin na lang kayo para isang paguran na lang tayo. Sa 8 o'clock and since parang in the morning mas maganda yung connection ko, natatakot kasi ako mawala na naman ng internet. 'Di ba Steven? Nakailang ano na ako na weekend, paghapon, nawawalan ako ng net. So at least kung mawalan man in the morning, pwede pa tayong mag-reschedule ng hapon and I can find a place where I can work na may internet. Just in case lang. Ganon. So are you guys good with 8 o'clock to 12? At least, in the afternoon, chill-chill na lang kayo and spend time with the family, spend time to connect with your spiritual life whatsoever.
Yes, we're good.
Okay. I'll send you the Zoom link for tomorrow. I'll send it to you later on or probably before the session. But before that, ano naman yung natutunan nyo sa sessions talaga, sa session natin ngayon? Sinong gustong mag-start? Si Mark. Tanungin natin si Mark.
Ma'am,
Yes, Mark. Ano yung mga na-learn mo for today's session?
marami po ma'am, pero re-review ko po ako pa uli mamaya.
So, ano yung pinaka
Mga
nagustuhan
calendar
mong
po.
topic natin?
Sa calendar po,
Okay, what about the calendar?
yung Google Calendar po.
Oh, ano nga?
Saka
So
po yung
guys, eto lang,
calendar.
sorry for cutting off. Ito yung suggestion ko ha. Like for example, whenever I ask you questions, so you make sure na you also answer in complete sentence. Kasi you know what? Okay lang yun kung ako yung kausap ninyo. But the reason why I wanted you to also speak in English and also express yourself, it's because it's a preparation for you whenever you have your interview. Diba? Whenever you have client interview, make sure na, of course, you're answering in a complete sentence, you're talking in English, at the same time, you can express yourself. So, again, wala naman tayong judgment dito. You can always become yourself. If you want to speak in Tagalog, that's okay with me. If you want to start trying talking in English, pwede din naman yun, di ba? Parang what do you guys think? It's a good practice din, di ba?
Yes.
Kasi it will also help you feel comfortable and confident in using the language. And it will help you practice expressing yourself. Kaya whenever I ask you, make sure din na you answer in complete sentence. Parang ganun. Alam mo yun? I think it will be beneficial. Di ba? So what do you think, Mark? Go tayo? Kasi for example, if I ask you, oh, what have you learned about this topic? So you would just answer me Google Calendar. What about Google Calendar? Di ba? Kasi ako, magigets ko kayo, pero what about your client? Siyempre, hindi naman sila yung manghuhula para hulaan na, okay, ano natutunan mo about Google Calendar? I'm not trying to put you on the spot, ha? I'm just making suggestions lang. All right. So, let's do this again. So, Mark, what have you learned so far?
Ano po yung mga schedule ma'am sa ano?
What about the scheduling?
So kapag ano po ng time zone ma'am, kung pares ba dito sa client saka sa customer?
Right. You have to make sure that the time zone is within the client's time zone as well, or they meet halfway. Great
Yes
job.
ma'am.
Thank you, Mark. What about the others? Anyone? Tips, ano yung natutunan mo for today's session? What's your biggest takeaway for today?
The importance of the Google
The importance?
of the Google in knowing how to properly use the Google app.
Okay, yes.
Right.
Go.
The calendar, the Google Forms, the Google Documents, and sending it to other people. I can use it in my school also.
Right. Correct. So, admin task is most of the common tasks that you will be providing or performing. So it's very important that you know how to utilize these common applications like the Google applications. This is what clients are mostly using because of the capability or ability to share documents and data online. Thank you. What about you, Steven?
Yeah, just like yeah, those Google Suite applications, especially yung sa may the survey form. Ganun lang pala siya kadali.
In survey form,
Yeah,
yes.
kasi I'm seeing it with the other trainers yung ginamit namin lately. Ganun lang pala siya kadali.
Yes.
Okay lang pala siya. And then also actually I can actually use it in our office since we are using Google as one of our applications. So especially the calendar, I can use it with in the office. So everything's new to me, and it's really I think it's really important for me to know it.
Okay, amazing. And at least you get to use this even for personal business or even for work. That's a good thing
Technically,
about knowing these applications.
yep.
All right, awesome. What about you, Carla? Si Carla may mga may knowledge na siya about these applications. But what have you learned so far?
Aside sa refresher, aside sa refresher, yung ano ba to? How to properly book an appointment in Google Calendar using a different time zone. And sa Google Sheets and Google Form, how
Yeah.
to easily add description or details. Ganun.
Right. So thank you guys. At least you have learned something for today's session. Tomorrow we will continue with social media 101. We will also talk about email management, and then we will have discussions regarding Upwork, how you can create your a profile, and also we will continue with email management. And if we still have time, we will do sales and email campaign, which is very important. So if you guys don't have any questions, thank you so much for joining for today's session. I will see you again tomorrow at 8 o'clock in the morning for our second session for this training.
Miss Yani, question.
Yes. Was it
Are,
Carla?
are you providing certificate?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
I provide
Okay.
certificate after the training.
Yeah, pangdagdag din sa
Yes, you
portfolio.
can upload it sa portfolio nyo.
Yeah, thank
At
you.
Upwork. You're welcome. All right. Thank you so much, guys, for attending today's session. And I wish you still enjoy your time this evening. Thank you. And I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye, everybody.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye,
Thank you.
guys. Thank you,
Bye-bye.
guys.